on you.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. This is Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. I'm here with my man Frank. What up, Frank?
What's up, peoples? Peace out. What's up? How's it going?
What up? What up? And we're here, man. It's Wednesday. We're doing the Wednesday buy sell trade show, so it should be really fun. Um, Look who's back. Them boys is in the house. So he's here. He's saying he's studying all the pass catchers all day, so he's ready to come out with that wide receiver knowledge. I'm sure
Nice,
you
nice.
got your notebook. I went old school
Yeah,
today and have my notes on paper. I was rolling up the sleeves. That's just how we do it here at Get Right. Um, this is what we do, man. We do the research for you, help you get your lineups right. See, we all got our notepads out, and this is how we do it, man. We put in that work every week to try to just give you the best knowledge that we can to help you hopefully bring home those championships, man. We want to see that hardware at the end of the year.
for sure.
So we got George LeBron back in the house. What's up, George? Starting to become a regular here. He
Got
says,
some
"Oh
questions
gosh,
today.
I have some questions today for sure. So we'll definitely get into some Q&A today. Um, we have a lot of stuff going on, man. So one thing that we do here before we start getting into that, definitely check out the description. We'll try to put some timestamps in there so you can kind of jump around to some stuff there. Also check out the sleeper channel, our private sleeper channel there. It's a little community we have. It's growing and growing. In there, you're going to get some, we have our ambassadors that help provide, for the channel. And we have Magoats, one of our ambassadors there. He hits us every morning with an interesting fact of the day. So today's fact was actually a little too morbid. Magoats, he said it was actually at the courtesy of Ryan M. Hick. Shout out to Ryan. Um, it was a little morbid, man. So I didn't want to kind of start the show off with something like that. So I kind of went with the one since we missed it on Monday. The Tonawanda Cardex. It's a team named after an office furniture company. Played one game in 1921. They lost 45-0 and folded with an all-time NFL record of 0-1. So
So they were
interesting
one
little
and done
fact
after
there.
one game, huh?
One and done. So 45-0 and said, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to stay in our lane here. So
What did they play? The staff at the warehouse or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, what was that all about?
some kind of like office team. Like they thought it was just kind of some, rec ball league or something like that. So again, I mean, it was 1921. But that is interesting. So Magoat, shout out to you there. Also another ambassador here, of course, is Dim Boys. He has another stat of the night here. He says Arizona has the most even target share in the league. Hopkins and AJ Green each have 18 targets. Edmonton and Kirk each have 17, and Rondale Moore has 15. So that's a nice, healthy share. A lot of attempts are going up there, and that's why Kyler is the QB1 in fantasy right now. Actually, he's number two. Brady's number one. So anyway, we'll get to that. So shout out to them boys there. Um, so
Yeah, I
yeah,
just want to go
so
back to that stat, man. I would just keep
oh,
thinking. I was thinking. What
go
if it
ahead.
was Dunder Mifflin, a paper company?
Oh, the other stat.
I'm just saying. Hold it after
The other
45 and 0. Yeah, would have been great because it's an office furniture company. Just I don't know. It just made me
yeah.
think about it because it said the
See,
office and this and that. I just started thinking the office. You know what I mean? What was it,
that's
Dunder
funny,
Mifflin,
man.
the
See, you
company that
got
went
him,
45 and
goats.
0.
See, you got him,
Whatever.
goats. That's why we love these stats of the day, man. Keep bringing it. We really appreciate it, you guys. We got Drizzy Drake in here. What's up, man? Drizzy Jake, I apologize. Got a little too crazy with it. He says start Boyd at Jacksonville or at flex or Patterson against Washington. I'd go with Boyd against Jacksonville, and we'll get into more. Well, I guess technically we're going to break down that a little more in our Thursday night preview as
Thursday
far as
night
why I
preview.
like Boyd. And then for Patterson, we'll break that down on our Friday show. So, Drizzy, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you join the community. Check the description. Join us on Twitter in our Sleeper app, our Sleeper community. And we'd love to get your subscribe. And just want to say thank you to everybody, man. We hit 200 subs, so you
Hey, we're
don't
doing
always
a
say
giveaway
that way.
tonight then, or we gotta wait for a giveaway show?
We'll do the giveaway on Friday, man. We'll do it for Friday. It'll be fun. We'll get
Eh,
in there and give some stuff away on Friday,
I'm
man. So
pumped
we'll get
about
it
it.
all
Like,
planned out.
we need to get it done.
Well, because we might go back. Sometimes we piss people off or they lose and they get pissed off at us, so they unsubscribe. It happens. It's part of the game. But we're
We
200
try to
strong
do
at
it
the
live,
moment.
so it just picks whatever random comment picture. Like, come on, like we don't come up with this stuff, dude. Come on.
We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, man.
Yeah,
So we're gonna get into some injuries here. Just for those of you guys who don't know, we're gonna get into some injuries. We're gonna do our Thursday night preview. Then we're gonna talk our buy sell trade targets. By position: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. And of course, throughout the show, we will do the Q&A. So keep those coming. We will get to your question. We appreciate you watching and listening here. Drizzy says, thanks a lot. And he just subscribed. What's up, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we do a Sunday morning show as well. Whew. Man, hosting's a
dude, I'm
lot,
putting in
man.
the work, dude. I'm telling you, we're putting in the work, dude. It's
This is what it
ridiculous.
is, man. This is fun, dude. I love it. I love it, man. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. All right, so let's get
Go
into
ahead.
it, man. So before we get into that, of course, we do have to again get one more shameless plug in here. For those of you guys who
What's not
don't
shameless? We
know,
gotta support the channel, man. Support
we
the
gotta
channel. It's
do it.
not
It helps
shameless.
supports the
We ain't
channel,
gonna lie.
absolutely.
We ain't gonna lie about it.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of fun doing it too. So go to
Yeah, it's still fun.
underdogfantasy.com. Um, put in that promo code get right. When you do that, make your first deposit. You will get 10 extra dollars deposited into your account. Right now, they're doing the best ball resurrection. It's basically their big mid-season tournament. It's kind of like the best ball mania that we did at the beginning of the year. Now this is their mid-season, opening up that best ball again. Obviously, there's been injuries. Things have changed so much already. This is a chance to resurrect your team and get another chance at your best ball, to get things right and finish out the season strong. So $10 per
Yeah, for
entry,
sure.
100,000 in total prizes. First place is $20,000 to you. So get in there and get some at it. And then of course you just have your regular mid-season best ball sit and goes that are available as well. So we can create those privately if you guys want to get into mid-season best ball with us. Again, use
I
that
like the
promo
pickums
code
we
get
got.
right.
I like the
And then
pickums and the rivalries.
absolutely. And you got all that as well too, in addition to that. So definitely sign up. Again, use that promo code get right. Help support the channel. All right. So
We're gonna
now
do
that we
another
got all
night
that
too.
out of the
We're gonna do
way,
another draft of it. We haven't done one in a while. It's like, oh, we got drafting, because the season started and now, everything's going on. The best I do is draft a daily fantasy. You know what I mean? Like we need to go back and do another best ball.
it says it right there, man. Where is it? Right here.
Right.
Home of the
It's
Friday night mocks,
upper
man.
right
That's
corner.
what we
Yeah, yeah.
do. We are the best
This one.
drafters out
Which way is
there. We
oh,
tell you,
oh,
yeah,
it's
it
the
says
other
right
way.
here. We are
It
the
is the
best
other opposite.
drafters out there. So we help get your lineups right. All right. So let's get into it, man.
All right, let's get it. Yeah,
Um, So just I don't we'll it's just the beginning of the week, so I don't want to get too much into injuries, but just things I kind of want to mention. I'm just going to run through these here.
what do you got?
Feel free to jump in if you want to add anything. Um, just the interesting thing with Dalton and Fields, there's a small chance that Foles might play today. So in those deeper super flex leagues, if you need a spot start for a quarterback, this is a guy you could probably still get. If I
You're
didn't
gonna
see him
start
going
Nick
any
Foles over
waivers.
the rookie? Is that what you're
Uh,
telling me?
yeah, well, he has a little injury going on, same thing with Dalton, obviously, which is why Field started last week. So
When's
just keep
Dalton
an eye
coming
on
back?
that.
That's all I need to know because I need him for A-Rod.
Yeah, a couple more weeks. We'll definitely get into that here, and especially with the
Yeah.
buy sell trade. That's definitely on the list. We have CMC, of course, the headliner.
Yeah,
He is
for sure.
definitely going to be out here week 4. There's no reason they should try to play him. Fire up Chuba Hubbard, get him in there, and
Hot waiver wire pick of the week.
yeah, waiver wire pickup. I got him in our home leagues. Definitely trying to trade him. We'll get into him as well. Dalvin Cook. It's kind of thinking maybe he has a high ankle sprain, so just kind of be wary of that. He was limited today. He probably might sit one more week here. If he can go there, we should be good.
That's the 2
Um,
to 3 week kind.
if it's a severe high ankle, then those could be like 4 to 6. But hopefully it's not. We'll just kind of see. So again, just kind of be, possibly be prepared to be without him this week, maybe one more. It was a good sign he was limited today. So
Yeah.
again, this is just Wednesday. Aaron Jones looked like he had a possible knee injury, but it came out that it looks like it's a lateral ankle sprain. Those are the ones you can just tape up, and he should be fine. So no worries about him. Darrell Henderson did get into limited practice today with his rib cartilage injury. Usually, it's about 3 to 6 weeks for that to heal, but it's a high aggravation, re-aggravation possibility. So, of course,
Oh
he'd wear
yeah.
one of those flap jackets, those, rib protectors. But, if he did get hit there again, it could, set him back significantly
You know
again.
what that means?
What?
My Sony Michelle stock is rising.
There it is.
He's going to be playing, and he actually did pretty well against the Tampa Bay defense, compared to the other backs that have been actually facing him. Not that he did great or anything, but to be
Right.
coming in on the spot, being a backup guy, and he did actually pretty decent. So I expect him to, obviously if he's Henderson's out, start Michelle, and he's going to give you good projection. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping upside on this guy.
Absolutely. So Josh Jacobs still dealing with that turf toe ankle kind of situation there. Peyton Barber looked good. Obviously one of our, I think 4 or 5 that actually got over 100 yards rushing this last week.
You starting Paper Barber?
So
You
he
picking him
may
up, starting him?
I mentioned him last week on the waivers if you can get him. It looks like you'll probably have him for another week or two, so definitely not a bad pickup. Very interesting why they didn't give that to Drake, but um I guess Peyton Barber it is. Fire him up.
Yeah,
We have
I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
yeah, I
False news.
wouldn't do it, but yeah.
False news.
So and anyway, exactly. Um Wide receivers, there's a ton of injuries out there. I'm just going to kind of breeze through these. These are guys you could just definitely go kind of research on what's going on. Obviously, we know AJ Brown and Julio kind of dealing with the hamstring is what they have it limited, or have it listed as. They were out today in practice. Amari Cooper looks like his ribs are okay. Hopkins did, of course, play. Wasn't really involved too much. I wouldn't worry too much about it. We're definitely getting to him as a potential buy low there. Maybe if that owner's panicking, but again, it's only week 3. Um, or we've finished 3 weeks going into week 4. Shepard, obviously we saw that. Juju, KJ Hamler had an ACL. He's out for the year. And if you want to know any more, of course, just go to that sleeper channel. Mike is all over that
James
for
White.
us, getting those alerts.
Yeah,
Yep,
James White
James
also
White looks
out.
like
Did you
he's
mention
done
him?
for the year.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
went
he's
out
done
also.
for the year. So, again, there's a ton of other guys we can get into on that, but I kind of want to get through that and do that.
That's the main
Um,
guys, at least, right?
exactly, and just kind of getting caught up here. Hector, what's up, man? Welcome back. Is it worth stashing Josh Gordon or Deshaun Watson? If you're a part of our community, when I heard the Josh Gordon news, I kind of went on a little tirade there. I'm not the biggest Josh Gordon fan. He's 30 years old. He's had several chances in the league. I personally wouldn't waste, anything on that. Um,
I
with the
want to go
whole
back.
with
Let's
the
go
whole
back over
two
here.
well, hold on, hold
Go
on. I
ahead.
just
Go
want
ahead.
to finish my
Sorry.
thought on this.
Yeah.
With the Deshaun Watson situation, I'm not worrying about kind of stashing him, but there might be some rumblings there, of course, with the Tua injury. That might speed up that process, there. Again, in Dynasty or something like that, it's definitely worth holding him because he'll probably be in the Dolphins next year. Um, Go ahead. What'd you want to do?
Oh no, I just wanted to go
Them
backwards
boys the
because you went
same,
we
yeah.
went a little forward. Think we didn't answer this.
Oh, okay. Good job for catching that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
George
didn't move my I didn't
Gronk.
move my chat, so I was like
Good job,
backwards
yeah.
or left.
I thought we were right there. I was like, do it after the promo code. I thought we were current at the promo code. So
Yeah,
he
I got
says starts Woods, Jacoby Myers, or Marvin Jones. Start 2, sit 1. So pick 2, Frank. Who you got?
I'd go with Woods and shoot, Jacoby.
If it's PPR, I'm gonna go Woods and Myers. I kind of got to see this offense do something again here with Marvin Jones again. If they're just not putting up points, again, we'll get into more starts in on Friday, but just at the here on Wednesday, I'd probably stick with Woods and Myers. I like what I see there, especially them going against Tampa Bay. It's going to be a bloodbath there. um,
And boys, Boyd Higgins is out. And anyone against Jack should be always be started.
yep, there it is. Um, Who else we
There's a hot
got?
spot right there
Oh,
for the
yeah,
boys.
he was responding to Drizzy's, question up there.
Yeah, yeah, earlier.
Yeah, we're just a little behind here, sorry, guys. So what's up, man? We got 7 rings in the house. What up,
You
what up?
mentioned Drizzy, Jake. So we'll just keep going.
Yeah, we got all that. I
We
got
got
it
that
now.
one.
Yep,
We can cut it.
yep, we're good. Go back here. There we go. So Brooks, what up, what up? Welcome. That's 7 rings. As you guys know, I'm in the sleeper community. We have FF Season said he just traded Carr, Monty, and Corey Davis for CMC and Ridley. Never thought I would get that offer. Man, I know we were just talking on air. We've been working on this. I don't want to say we, but I feel like I was kind of part of this.
Oh, yes.
He's been working on this CMC trade with Dustin and I. We've been going back and forth on the Twitter DMs, trying to work this out. I was kind of worried because I was like, you need to, now it puts Fields as his QB2. But anytime you can get CMC, and he still kind of improved his wide receiver as well. Um, that's how you do it. That's a good trade. You're getting the best player in that trade. So well done, man. That's a long time coming. Congratulations. I know you've been working on that one. So good one. And Dim Boys is saying that's a major still season. Yeah, good job, dude.
But didn't you just say Foles is starting for Fields?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So that's a little that's a little wrinkle. That's why I kind of told him if you get rid of Carr, man, he's gonna have to rely on Fields as his QB2. But ultimately he can just put CMC at the flex. I told him, once he gets you can still play CMC as your super flex. Basically he becomes Carr. And I mean CMC is greater than Carr is ultimately what we kind of got at. And so you throw him in there as your super flex because he's pretty much scoring as much as a quarterback in a PPR league. So anyway, um, well done. Dim Boys is saying he'd start Jones and Myers. He said he's out on Woods personally. So we'll get into that here, of course, with our buy sell trade. He's definitely a guy we'll be talking about. Ian, what's up, man? Ian Kish is back. Hey guys, I got a tough decision between Pittman Jr. and Myers for my flex this week in a PPR. What matchup do you guys prefer? See, we're not doing start sit, so I didn't even have my schedule up right
You're
now.
right. Yeah, it wasn't really.
I will bring it up for you
Let's
guys
look
because
at
we're a show for the people, and that's what we're here for. Because without you, we wouldn't be here. Well, we would. We would just be talking to ourselves,
pretty
which we
much.
did for years. So we have no problem with that. But we are here to talk to you now because
Notice
we
he
all
doesn't
kind of
shut
know
up.
how each other feel. No, not at all. I hate dead air time. I can't stand
I
it.
know.
I feel
No, I'm not gonna
unprepared.
give you any airtime. I was gonna
Go ahead. What do
interject
you?
myself, but no, go ahead. No,
No, go
I'm
ahead.
good.
No, I'm
I
still
just like
looking
to
it
put that
up.
in there.
So I'm looking up the schedule. So go ahead.
No, I was just looking at these guys. Just in general. I mean, I look at the quarterbacks that throw into them and what the situation there is, how many looks they get, obviously for PPR, um, and the defense that they're facing. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what we're looking at. Now, I don't remember how many touches each one of these guys are. I'm trying to buy you time, man. I don't see you looking anymore.
Oh, I'm ready to go now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
ready to go. So I'm just letting you
All right.
finish.
So
So
now that he
yeah,
looked at, let's see.
as
Let's look
soon
up the
as I saw
touches now.
as
All
soon
right.
as I see the matchup, it's a easy decision. You got to go with Myers on this. Pittman Jr. is going to be facing the Dolphins. We all know they have Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. No one's catching balls over there. So, um, yeah, your quarterback has two wobbly ankles right now. Like both ankles is a high ankle sprain on one, a low ankle sprain on the other. Go with Myers there. I think he had like 14 targets or something. His problem is he just doesn't catch touchdowns. So he's kind of like a baby Julio Jones. So in a
But
PPR
he's in
league, you're
PPR, so that's
yeah,
okay though. You know what I mean?
fine. Yeah, you should be fine with Myers. It's a safe play. Let's see.
Them boys, even in
Dim
the super
boys,
flex. Yep.
even in a super flex.
Okay, them boys.
Yes, in the super flex. There we
Let's see
go.
in the super. Let's check this out.
Oh, there he
Trey
goes.
Gibson after this week's matchup against the Falcons. I'm looking to do some things like that. I have Gibson, and I'm like worried about it. I'm like, well, let's
Dude,
hopefully he busts out and have a good
let's
day.
work out an on-air trade right now. If
Because
Gibson is up for
I'm
grabs,
deep in running
I
back in
will
our league.
stop this show. We will throw up the whole "we'll be right back" whole sign. Don't we have one of those signs? Hold on. All
So
right, live
5 minute
stream's gonna be
interview.
back here shortly
Will be me.
because Gibson's on the block, dude, and I'm not giving anyone else a chance
Hey,
to
our
do
leagues are going
it.
crazy. Our leagues are going crazy. What was our latest trade? We just the latest new big trade that happened in our league.
Oh yeah, Cooks for Adams. So we'll get into that. Let's get through these questions because
All
I
right,
definitely want to talk about all
because
that.
Cooks for Adams is
Um,
that's
so
serious.
anyway, sorry about that, George. You got me excited there. So something might happen here after the show. I ain't letting Frank go to
So
bed
no.
till Gibson's on my roster. I'll give my half my team for him. We'll work it out. Uh, so let's see. So after I like Gibson. Just look at his playoff schedule, weeks 15, 16, 17. To me, that's the guy to have. He's a
Hold
nice
on, yeah, hold on.
RB2 for
Just
you.
wait, just wait.
Yeah.
The Myers
So
must
he's
better than
saying
the
he
Max
likes
is better than
Myers
the Max is
and
better.
Pittman. There we
We're on the
go.
same page.
Absolutely. Yeah, he is. So we're on the same page
Oh
there
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
we're
Stop saying all
fine.
that. Tell Frank it's you don't want Gibson. Tell him to sell him. Sell
I
him now.
already know, dude. I just throwing it out
Sell
there,
him
dude.
now.
Blowing
You get
smoke,
me riled up.
blowing
You know how to
smoke.
get to me. You know how to get to me. I'm also no on starting Woods. He'll start Manuel Sandals or even Rondell Moore over Woods. I have Woods in both of our home leagues, our longest standing leagues. I'm starting him in both of those leagues still.
You know what
Um,
happens when you do that? You get too cute, and then your guy goes off, and then you miss out on the points.
it's only been 3 weeks, man.
And they're
He's
on a
still
good
scoring
offense.
okay points.
Stafford is
Yeah,
slinging it around. I know Cooper Cup's getting a lot of looks, but Woods will get some love
he'll
soon.
s- yeah.
Probably the next game. Next, you know, it's going to be all Woods next game. That's how it happens sometimes. You know, you're just playing a certain type of defense, and the scheme falls a certain way in the game, and next you
hmm
know, the other guy's getting all the looks because you have enough, wide receiver talent that it can go that way. I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry about Woods.
You've liked Emmanuel Sanders since the beginning of the year. I like
Oh
that
yeah,
signing him going over there as well. I wasn't able to get him anywhere. He did. I drafted him actually during Friday Night Mocks for a while. Then he kind of got hurt before the beginning of the season, so I think he kind of went undrafted a while. It looks like he's getting back to full health, and he's starting to show that potential that we thought could happen, which
yeah. I
is
gotta
kind of
pay
taking
attention to
away
my own
from
advice.
Diggs. Yeah, so we're kind of taking away from Diggs on that, which is why I think Diggs is a good buy low candidate right now. We see Josh Allen bounce back. He still is young, so he is going to have those kind of games here and there. But we see what
Sure,
his arm talent is, and that dude is just that's the guy.
right?
There's just guys that are the guy, and that guy
Throwing,
looks like the guy.
throwing bullets right now.
So season saying, "Would you trade Fields for Ben? Ben looked fried last week, but at least he has job security." Yeah, I mean, for your situation, some a quarterback guaranteed is maybe better than the potential, right now, especially in a redraft. But again, I'd like to just hold pat one more week, especially if you can start Fields this week. Then maybe just hold on to him and then see what you can do. But you might just have to. And I think the thing that sucks too is I think he's like 1-2 or even 0-3 in this league, so that's why he's trying to make these moves. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hate to put you on blast like that season, but I know you've been
Feeling
tinkering
like
with your team all year.
feeling
Um,
like Stafford never looks at Woods.
yeah, it's kind of like that. But interestingly, when you go look at the
The
stats on
numbers,
it, though, he has a pretty safe little
same
floor. I
target
mean, he
share,
hasn't
almost similar
been.
target share.
Yeah. So let me see. We have
As Anthony looks it up, we're gonna go to the next one real quick while we're looking at the numbers.
yeah. So in a
Start
PPR,
3.
he's averaging 10.4 fantasy points per game. So I mean, that's not terrible.
How many targets? What's the target share between him and Cup?
Oh, he's severely being out targeted, 19-13. He has 11 catches for 124 yards and a touchdown. The other thing though is that's nice is he does have 4 carries for 18 yards, so they still are involving him in the offense and getting those
In
looks.
different
So
ways. Yeah,
yeah, so they want to
he'll be
use him.
fine.
It's not like they're just turning their back on him. So
I'm telling you, as soon as you bench that guy, he's gonna go off.
yeah, so I'd stick with him here. I mean, if you want to sell him, don't get me wrong. If you can get something for him, go ahead. But don't like sell him for pennies on the dollar or anything.
Yeah,
Like package him and try to get something. Sell him to somebody like me who still has, you know, still has some love and outlook for him.
yeah.
Got to
There'll be
find those
people looking
guys.
for him.
Yeah,
There's
you
always
gotta
somebody looking for a
you got
wide receiver.
11.
There's
You got
there
11
for
other guys. Yeah, you got
yeah.
11 guys there. All right, so we got
Start
Greg.
3.
Welcome back, Greg. You got me with your last name last time. Not gonna get me again. Uh,
Greg
um,
C.
yeah, start three in a PPR: Gaskins, Pittman, Woods, Waddle, Ayuk, Mitchell, Patrick, and Devonta. So I like to do these by just who do you sit? So who you sitting first out of this one? I say Pittman with that Xavier Howard and quarterback situation
Yeah,
going on.
Pittman, Ayuk.
Who's
I
your
think
next sit?
I would sit Ayuk. I don't see Debo's getting too many of the shares. He got what finally one good game.
I disagree there. I think Ayuk's coming back. We see what his potential was. He did score a touchdown this week. Um, he was getting targets, getting looks, and
I'm not
the
sold on it.
dude's
I'd rather have Patrick.
really Tim Patrick over there. I think Sutton is getting good targets over there. But KJ Hamler did go down, so that does open up some looks there. Of course, with Jerry Judy down. Um, yeah, but Ayuk had 4 catches for on 6 targets for 37 yards and a touchdown.
Six
That's
targets
not
is
that bad.
not enough. Not enough,
I mean,
dude.
it's not
I
bad.
mean, he got lucky. He got a touchdown. If he didn't have a touchdown, what would you look at his game like?
Yeah, 7 yeah, 7.5 points. Yeah, but he got it. So you can't
Look,
say what he didn't do.
I'm just saying.
I could
Like,
say
I'm
that
not
with
trusting
everybody.
that.
Yeah, if Derrick Henry only had 10 carries instead of 35, he would only got 50 yards. Of
Just
course you
saying.
could say that. I could use stats like that too, Frank.
Well,
No,
I'm
I'm
just
just messing with
saying.
you. All right, so go
Prior
ahead.
to
So we
that,
got to
prior to that, he only had 2 targets for 1 catch in 2 games.
Yeah, no, totally. All right, so
So,
so
like,
we're sitting that I disagree with that one. I actually go the opposite way. I'm sitting Patrick next on that. Um then
Devontae Smith, I start.
I'm probably sitting Gaskins and Mitchell there. So yeah, I'm probably going Smith, um, Waddle, and Mitchell if he plays. And if not Mitchell, then I would probably take my chances with Ayuk, especially if Mitchell's not there.
I'll go
That's
with
mine.
Waddle, Patrick,
Who are
Smith.
There you go. All right, so you got it there. Um, Ian saying easy. Appreciate it. Has to get that off his checks. Now he can enjoy, relax, and enjoy the show now. So enjoy, enjoy. Let's see. Dem Boys just did a deep dive on Cooper and Woods, and the targets are so incredibly lopsided in favor of Cup that I can't bring myself to start Woods. And that's exactly the reason why. If you're thinking that, these defensive coordinators that get paid millions of dollars are being told, and they know they need to also stop Cup now at this point. So I think he's going to start seeing a lot of coverage, and that's going to start opening up things
Maybe
for
double
Higbee
teams.
and Woods. Exactly.
Hmm.
So stick
Have
with it.
some guy lean into Cup's side, whatever.
Exactly. So Woods, he may be the first look, but if that's not covered, Woods is going to be there. Um, so that's that. Superflex League. Brooks is saying Winston versus the Giants or Fields over the Lions. Again, we're doing buy sell trade. Not really jumping too much into the start sit yet.
We might as well just start doing them, right?
Fields.
Call it whatever.
Yeah, I know. I just, but again, we're new, so we're trying to get everybody accustomed to the show.
The flow too, right? The same thing.
Mondays are waiver wire. Wednesdays are buy sell trade, roster management, and then Fridays are a start sit because we have all the injury information, and that's when we start doing that. Look at matchups and things like that. We're
Hey,
doing
we
all
had to
different
wait to see if
research
they
right
were in
now. Yeah,
practice, didn't practice
you're asking.
full.
Yeah, you're asking for apples, and we're talking about oranges. So, but we still got you here. It's really tough. I'd probably take my chances with Winston, just because we don't even know if Fields going to start. So,
I
as of
would
right
take the
now,
chances with Winston because the defense is very good on New Orleans and it'll carry the team. And I think that they had just had a really bad game with all those coaches were on COVID. And now they've righted the ship a little bit better. He had a lot better game. And we've seen what the potential could be in the game one. So I just take my chances with Winston. Giants aren't that good. The defense is not good at all. They're 0-3. And the Lions have a better option against Fields, and Fields may not even play, right?
yeah, exactly. Oh, Dim Boys is correcting me. Who was it? Who doesn't have it? Oh,
Oh,
he
he's
said we'll
saying
have that combo
Woods
off
because
air.
we were
He
looking
also
at
has
it.
numbers that are super scary for Woods. No, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I hope you know that. Like, don't get me wrong. I know, but like I just feel that offense can support Woods there. Like
Yeah,
those
for
defensive
sure.
coordinators are going to stop that eventually. It may not be next week, but I think by playoff time and throughout the year, he will at least produce enough.
It'll all even
He
out.
may
It
not
will
be a
even
high.
out.
He may not be what you drafted him for, but he's not droppable. Like he's still startable as a flex more so than like a wide receiver 2. So let's say that. Can we agree on that? But yes, let's definitely have that conversation off air.
I didn't realize the text.
Um
It's it's title. LOL. It's all good. It's all good,
It's all
Brooks.
good, dude. Hey, we're just happy you're here, my guy. We're just
Yeah,
happy you're
we'll
here.
roll with it, man. We roll with whatever's coming in
It
and out.
is,
You know what I mean?
man. Hey, like I said, the Q&A is here for you guys. All right, so he says, "I was offered Thielen for Mike Davis and Robbie Anderson in PPR. Smash expect, right? Uh, offered Thielen and Mike Davis for Anderson. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go get that done, and then let
yeah,
us know that's done."
yeah. Exactly.
Absolutely. Especially in a PPR, that's great. Um, according to my handy dandy, sheet here, I believe, Mike Davis is, 5th overall with 17 targets, tied with Christian McCaffrey. Fun fact of the night. Anyway,
Really? Just in the
dive
PPR situation? Wow.
dive into that then,
Well, he's
boys.
not doing much with it.
Check
That's why I don't like
check
PPR.
let's have a
But
private conversation on that. Am I right
and
there?
that's what's wrong with PPR. Tell you that.
I have
Tell you
Cook,
right now.
J-Rob, and Hendo, so don't really need Mike Davis. Nah, you don't, but that doesn't mean somebody else doesn't, and I like other trade pieces, so you could just put him in, get a running back, trade him off to somebody else. Um, running backs will always be wanted. Those low-end RB2s are valuable, so get him, especially you get
So who
2
are you
for
going to
1.
play instead of Cook this weekend? He's going to start J Rob because Henderson might be hurt also.
Yeah, actually, you might need him this week, so you're gonna have to go J-Rob and Mike
I'm
Davis.
just looking at his roster. I'm
Yeah,
like, if you got those are the
you
four
better
running
hurry
backs,
up. Yeah, you
Dalvin
better
Cook's
hurry up and
out,
hit that. You better
Henderson's
hurry up
out,
and
you
hit.
got J Rab, and you're trying to trade away Mike
Yeah.
Davis. Like,
Stop
let's look at
thumbing out messages to us. Go hit accept and then come tell us. So,
yeah, talk
all
to us
right,
afterward.
cool, cool. All right, so I think we're caught up. So we can kind of dive into
Oh, he's got
the
Madison
Thursday
too.
night.
That's who you're starting.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
so
all
he's
right, all
good
right.
then. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
You're
you
good.
left out some info there, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You did. For the record, you didn't include that in there. All right, so we got just quickly. We're gonna go through the some start sit here with the Thursday night preview. We have Cincinnati at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cincinnati Bengals are favored by 7.5. It's a right now it's a 46-point over under. These, as I like to say, these Thursday games are always wonky. You want to take Cincinnati or Jacksonville, or you want to say a little bit of both?
I
I'll
would
give
take
you the option.
Cincinnati.
Well,
I'm
I
taking
meant like,
Cincinnati.
no, who do you wanna break down and do your start sit on? Do you wanna do Cincinnati and leave me Jacksonville, or do you
I'll
wanna
take
do
Cincinnati.
Jacksonville and leave me
I
okay,
already
they
think
have
Cincinnati's going to
oh,
win.
you're letting me
You
off.
should be
You let me
starting the
off easy.
Cincinnati guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would start Joe Money Mixon. I would start Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd. Obviously, we brought
Because
in.
Higgins is out. Sorry.
It's just a good situation. Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's just an overall good situation over there. So, roll with the hot hand. I think that they're going to get the win, and they're going to get score some points over there. And I don't think Jacksonville's could cut, because I'm looking at the defense as well right now. Where did I have? They're lined up for the offense, passing and rushing. The defense is the big thing that Bengals defense is ranked eighth. Jacksonville's defense
Ooh,
is
look
ranked
at Frank
29th.
coming out with the defensive rankings. I
So,
love it. I love it when you guys take
so
out on the defenses with me here.
yeah, you know what I mean. So you looking
I
at
don't do
that,
defenses.
you got a rookie, over there, and Trevor Lawrence, and facing another good defense, and he's being welcomed to the NFL. I would just take Cincinnati all day.
Nice.
Take
Very
that
nice. That
side,
was a
sit
great
the other
breakdown.
side. I don't know. Are you starting the other side or what? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'll do the Jacksonville side before we get into that, excuse me. We'll ask a quick question. Sorry, I should have hit the mute there for everybody that was listening, especially in your car or something. Hopefully, people aren't looking at you right now. Uh, we have Drew here saying, "What's up, fellas? I traded Debo and Damian Harris for CD. Did I fleece? It's a 12-man full PPR league. Frank, what say you?"
Debo and Damian Harris for CD. CD's literally what ranked what, fifth right now or sixth? I don't know.
Let me
He's up
let,
there.
let me break out my
He's up
notes
there.
here for you.
Last time I looked at the rankings, I would take CD all day. He keeps continually going above Cooper. Cooper's little injury going on, and you only see him just doing leaps and bounds. Actually, he's ranked ninth right now, and just for the week or whatever. So I think he did well in that trade. I don't think he fleeced, but because I see Damian Harris has been doing pretty well, and so has Debo
He had a
Samuel.
bad
But
game. Yeah,
yeah, but I think you're getting the better edge of it. I think with CD.
absolutely. I pretty much agree. I'm kind of there with you. I think it was definitely a good trade on your part. Anytime, you're able to trade, um, to improve a position. I mean, obviously, Debo is wide receiver 3 overall right now. I don't think we all believe he's going to kind of sustain that, especially again with the emergence of Ayuk. We all know once Kittle gets fully healthy, he's going to be involved in that pass game there. So, from there, we're looking at Damian Harris. We've seen what his floor is now. We've also seen kind of what his ceiling potential is. Definitely more valuable, I think, in a non PPR versus a PPR. So, given this situation, since it is a full PPR, I do like the move, especially because Amari Cooper can go down anytime, and then you're probably looking at 12 to 15 targets for CD there. So,
On a high-powered offense that's throwing the ball like crazy.
well,
I
they've
mean,
kinda calmed down, man, and they started running the ball a lot. I think they had, like, what, like, 35 carries or something like that
yeah, they
between
evened it
Pollard
out.
and
They've
Zeke.
evened out.
Yeah, so, I mean, but then look at they won. I mean, then they won substantially, and so I think they've shown, it's almost kind of a little scary, and we're gonna get into that if eventually here we get to our buy-sell trade, because those guys are definitely on my list to talk about there, and
Yeah,
I
I
wanna
just
get your opinion,
pulled
so
up the rest of season rankings. CD's at number 4 for wide receivers.
there it is, and look at that playoff schedule, it's
Tyreek
nice. Week
Hill,
13,
Devontae
16,
Adams,
17.
Stefan Diggs, and then CD. So he's
Wow.
number 4. So yeah, I'd be happy with him. James White out. Do you think
Yeah, I've seen
that's
JJ Taylor, and those kind of guys being picked up. Again, I think the back to own in this backfield is Harris until we see how, things kind of shake out. We never know what Belichick's going to do any given Sunday. To me, again, the only safe play that I like in this backfield is Harris. I did like, White before, but again, until we see who's going to take over that role, is it going to be, Ramondre? Is it going to be this JJ Taylor, more passing, catching guy? I'm not sure. So I don't know too much about, those guys. So I'm going to
you
have to
never
do my
know with
research on
Belichick.
that. Yeah.
If
So,
anything, I stay away from any running back by committee, from especially a Belichick running back by committee. He'll
yeah.
show you one
So,
week that this guy's the starter, next week the other guy's the starter, and
yeah.
it's
I
it's
mean,
too iffy.
ideally, and I see why this guy maybe made that trade for Damian Harris, thinking the James White injury, you know, he does
If I
have
were
a
you,
few
I'd go pick
catches.
up a Zach Moss or somebody like that instead.
Yeah, just to kind of replace him. But yeah. So
Well,
anyway, that's
I'm just
that.
saying if he's looking for a running back or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because James White
exactly.
went
What's up,
down, I'd rather
Dylan?
look for Zach Moss.
What's up, Dylan? Welcome to Get Right Fantasy, man. We appreciate you for watching. If you haven't already, hopefully you can support us. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. We're trying to get up and above this 200 mark where we're at now, so we'd really appreciate it, man. So we're gonna answer your question here. He says, "Is Mixon and Harris a good duo while CMC is out? He also has Debo, Jefferson, and Waller as other pieces." I'm fine with that combo.
Shoot, I've rolled with
Mixon
that.
had kind of a bad week, but you have CMC coming back. Again, your whole thing is you just got to make the playoffs. With that type of team, when you have CMC, you have a chance. Again, if you can maybe sell Debo a little high right now to pair him up with maybe another high-powered wide receiver that has good matchups heading into the playoffs, maybe that's something you can kind of look forward into. Um, but otherwise, I think you're pretty good there. I mean, that's definitely nice. You have Waller. I think he'll bounce back. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you
What do you
hold out.
think, Frank?
Oh yeah, I think you'll hold out. That's a good, that's good depth that you had in there in the running back, and probably picking up what Harris from the back, from the bench. I probably already started mixing. Mixon's heading into a good matchup. You're good.
Nice. I'm gonna have to do the timestamps all funky on this one because I still haven't done the Jacksonville breakdown. Should have done that real quick and then
Oh yeah, yeah. You
and
just
then
like
got into the
slowly. I just
questions.
did. Yeah. Wait a
It's
minute here.
okay, dude. No, hey,
Let's
it's
pause
for
up.
the people, man. I don't
All right.
especially I saw Dylan come in. He's a brand new, first time commenter, so I wanted to get his question in there. Didn't want to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
him
yeah.
wait. He might have turned away. So we'd love to have you here, man. We answer your questions. We're obtainable. We're still a small knit community here, as I like to say it. So George is saying, do I pick up Robbie Anderson from waivers? Nah, bruh. Let him sit
Nah,
there.
nah,
Let him be somebody
nah.
else's issue right now. Again, if you
Yeah,
have a spot to burn, of course, go ahead and pick him up. The potential is there. Again, he does have to get used to Darnold and, kind of see what's going on. Obviously, they have played together, but maybe he just doesn't like him. I don't know what's going on. But again, it's only week 3, so I wouldn't panic too much. Again, if you have that spot to burn, let's say, Frank, let me ask you this way: Robbie Anderson or Rondale Moore?
more.
Robbie Anderson or Terrace Marshall on the same team? Who would you rather have?
I'd take Anderson.
Okay, so you'll take Anderson over him. Look at those stats though, and then still let me know if you'd still take him. Uh, I know you're not looking at Terrace Marshall.
Yeah,
So let's
I know
go.
who he is. I've seen the
No,
stats.
I know.
It's just
So are you going
I
Robbie
would just
Anderson
wouldn't
or
even look at those guys on that team, honestly. So let's just look at them that
right?
way.
You feel more comfortable with Robbie Anderson or Michael Pittman?
See, it's the quarterback issues with Pittman, but yeah, I'd take Pittman over him.
Okay, Robbie Anderson or Mecole Hardman?
See, Miko Hardman had that good game, and he should be having better games. So I'd rather have Miko Hardman just for the
And re
upside. He's on KC. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen
yeah.
over there. You know?
Robbie Anderson or Marvin Jones?
See, I'm not looking at the numbers, but I'm thinking Jones still too.
Okay.
That's why
So
he's
I think
sitting.
it's
That's why he's sitting on the bench. I mean,
I think
obviously,
he's in that range, and that's that,
yeah, yeah.
that low end wide receiver 3. I think he still has that much value, but it is falling fast. So, up to you, George.
Yeah, you're not.
Um,
Yeah, you're not. It's not a safe bet there at all.
yeah, but again, it's a lot of tickets. So at this point, he was drafted high. There we know the talent's there. It's just can the off is the offense, going to involve him? But I have to say they would. They pay him a good amount of money. Dim Boys is saying if you want to stash him and see how he does this week. But if he doesn't have a good game this week against Dallas with Dig shadowing DJ, he's not worth or he's not going to have a good game against anyone. Or he's not going to have a good game against anyone. And I kind of agree. If he doesn't show off here, Diggs looks like he's one of these next shutdown corners that we can start talking about here soon. Obviously, he had that nice pick six on Monday night. So definitely keep your eye on this kid. So he looks good.
Can we just say the Dallas Cowboys defense is a much better than predicted?
I'm not saying that. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
we're
You
gonna
guys
say it.
are doing all right. We'll see once you guys play somebody. Anyway, all right. So Jacksonville hit the
We did
timestamp
play somebody.
right
We
here.
played Tampa Bay. They barely beat us with seconds on the clock to start off the
That's
season. Just
funny.
want to say that.
That's funny. All right, man. So I got Jacksonville here. 1 QB leagues, you're probably not starting Trevor Lawrence at this point. In super flex, you're probably not starting him as well. James Robinson, basically flip a coin at this point with him. We've seen his floor, we've seen his ceiling. So I don't know where to go with this guy. What's going to happen this week? Looks like Urban Meyer's just trying to play all of us. So again, if you can trade that guy, I would just go ahead and trade him so you don't have to deal with that headache. This would definitely be the time to do it. As far as Marvin Jones, if you do have to fire him up as a flex, I would kind of do that. I kind of would like to start him over, guys like Rondell Moore. Some of these guys that maybe aren't getting, so many snaps. They've had big weeks here or there, but I would start like Jalen Waddle and those kind of guys over him. Waddle getting 12 targets, especially in a PPR. I like that. Um, I think they traded for Dan Arnold, I believe, is now over there, the new tight end with Jacksonville. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, they felt like they maybe needed a better security blanket for Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see if that maybe improves it. So a lot of things I kind of want to see, in this game. But for the most part, um, I wouldn't expect too much from the Jacksonville side. Let's just say it like that.
I don't know. I
So we'll
have a
keep
little
that.
bit more confidence in J. Rob than you do.
Okay, tell me about it. Go ahead.
Well, just
Break
because
it
of
down.
the targets, the target shares. I was just looking at the numbers here. I actually just closed the stupid window down, but um, he out took who's the old guy over there? I can't even think of his name. Frank Gore. Who
Carlos
is it
Hyde.
over there? Carlos Hyde,
Carlos
and
Hyde.
only got
Yeah.
8 carries over there to the 22 looks that J. Rob ended up getting for the weekend last weekend. This game, and I think that's going to continue moving forward because he did perform well, and I think the team will see that that's the better option versus Carlos Hyde, that's old and done. Why would they
Mm,
continue to even give him the ball? I never understand that, but offensive coordinators and teams in general, why they do that. But obviously, the proof is in the pudding. I think that he performed well in that game. I know he's got a tough matchup with Cincinnati, um, but I think it'll show. You know what I mean? It's like a litmus test, right? If he does well,
yeah,
definitely feel a little bit better starting him the rest of the season. But I wouldn't bench him.
yeah. I mean, again, if you're telling me he's getting 15 carries and 6 targets a game, I'm starting him every week. That's basically almost, low in RB1, mid RB1 levels there. But again, we've seen what his low is. But like I said, if you're going to go 15 for 88 with a touchdown and then 6 for 6 for 46, he did have that fumble in there as well too. So maybe, again, we'll see how that affects it. But 25.4 fantasy points in a PPR. It's not a bad week. So I think he finished like 4 or 5 overall running backs last week. So that's that. All right. So we finally got through the breakdown. You want to finally get into some buy sell trade here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Who are we looking at?
RB4.
What do you like?
He was RB4, by the way. It went Harris, Hunt, Elliott, James Robinson. All right. So we're going to start with quarterbacks here. Um, quarterbacks that we're looking to buy. So we'll talk first kind of more in a one QB league. Um, I mean, we'll just talk both. One QB and Superflex, just kind of designate what you're thinking. Who are some quarterbacks that you kind of have your eye on that you feel like you can maybe buy low right now?
Ooh, shoot, I got one of the guys, Ryan Tannehill. He just barely
Uh,
had a halfway
he's
decent
first.
game.
He's first on my list. Go ahead, speak.
Yeah. I just because I have him and I know that the situation is getting better, but he finally had a decent game, and it might be the guy to target. I've had trade offers for him early on, and now I'm like, should I have done it? Now I'm holding him. So I think he's a guy to look at, definitely.
Yep. He did finish as QB8 overall last week. So again, that's about where I had him ranked heading into the season. So we obviously seen what his potential was. That's obviously with both Julio not playing for the entire fourth quarter and AJ Brown left, I believe, in the second quarter. So we've seen again what he's capable of doing. Um, and of course, once he gets his weapons back, this is a good time. You can potentially buy low on him if that owner's thinking, you know, AJ Brown, Julio are both out. They're just going to give the ball to Henry 40 times. So a good opportunity to go after him. So he's I had him first as well too. So he's ranked
Oh, did you?
19th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's ranked 19th in 4 point and 20th in 6 point per passing touchdown. So who's another one you got? You got any more?
Baker Mayfield.
Okay, tell me about Baker.
You know, um, it's just the situation in. He's had some, upcoming decent games, and I think the schedule gets a little bit better with them. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. I'm looking at it now. But Minnesota's a good game, but you got the Chargers, Arizona, and Denver coming up. It's actually pretty rough, those three games. Then you got Pittsburgh, which should be soft, and then again Cincinnati, New England. But the playoffs looking New England, Detroit, Baltimore is not too bad. So I don't know. It's um, but he's playing well. The Cleveland Browns are just doing that thing that they do where they're like, we're going to get to the playoffs, and then they just like drop off later on. It once the heat is on. So I just overall looks that he's has is not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I don't have him on my list, but just with you there, I think just the reason for me is there's just not enough attempts. This is a run first offense with a good defense. So I like my quarterback to kind of have a bad defense and trust the quarterback to put the ball in the air, 40 plus times. Baker in week 1 attempted only 28 passes, only went down to 21 passes against Houston, and then did get his
Back up to
most
31.
attempts to 31, yeah, for week 3 against Chicago, completing, 61% of those for 246. Only one touchdown, but he did have those 4 carries for 31 yards, so he will break away a little bit. Hasn't cracked the, plus 20 point per fantasy point game. So I don't know if I would be looking to buy him myself personally, but um, again, maybe he has some stuff going on down the road. Um, oh, but again, it's okay to disagree, right? We could disagree.
Oh
We
yeah,
don't feel bad
they
on
can.
that. All right.
No,
That's
they
cool.
can all be.
Um,
They can all be awesome, man. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, it's just difference of
I just feel
opinion.
like
Yeah.
he's like not a bad floor. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not a bad floor, and for some of these people that have other people going, I mean, like you've seen Jalen Hurts game the other day against Dallas, and the other reason he got a decent game was just garbage time, and garbage time counts. You know
Right.
what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? But he was going into the fourth quarter with like 3 to 5 points, if I remember correctly. I have him, so
Yeah.
I was worried.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Yeah.
God for garbage time.
Right. So yeah, so you have anybody else on your list that you want to talk about here? I have a couple. I don't
No,
need to
no,
go
go
into
ahead.
great detail
As far
about
as
it.
quarterbacks, I
If
want to
you
take a
want
break. Actually, I'm gonna get some water real fast. Be right back.
to, okay,
So
yeah, no,
one
that
second.
sounds. I don't have a problem talking. It's all good. So a couple guys that I have as buy candidates potentially are Aaron Rodgers. He is ranked 21st right now. We obviously know what he's capable of. Obviously, he's coming off two good games. It was just that first game that puts him down, in this ranking so far. But maybe that first game left a bad taste in that owner's mouth. So maybe you can still go get him. Obviously, Dak might be a potential candidate. We were kind of talking about it earlier with the rushing attempts, kind of spiking up there. Take a look at him and see if maybe you can make an offer. We know what type of weapons he has and the potential he has to get in a shootout, and I can see them being in those type of games, more often than not. Then Justin Herbert, he's ranked 13th right now in 4 point and 12th in 6 point. Coming off two good games. Again, the first week was kind of a little stinker, but he is getting better now. Um, I had him kind of ranked still around this ranking here. I think that's where he is. But if the owner has a kind of bad taste in their mouth off those first week, he's definitely somebody you can target there. Has some shootouts, matchups that are coming down the pipe. Um, so that's that. So just a couple things I want to comment on before Frank gets back here from getting his water. Right now we have Brady as the number one quarterback. We have Kyler Murray as the number two quarterback, Mahomes as the number three quarterback, and Stafford as the number four quarterback right now. So those are the top dogs. So we'll get into some of the questions here that have come in. Dylan is saying, who would you recommend trying to get using Debo as trade bait? His bench includes Antonio Brown, Jacoby Myers, Corey Davis, and Brady. Um, who would you try to trade Debo for right now? Like, who would you like? Again, if you had Debo, if somebody sent you a trade offer, who would what kind of package would you be looking in order to
Like
take on Debo right now?
me, I'm terrible with
Yeah.
that stuff. I'm
Okay.
more of a
Well,
trade acceptor, not a
all
trade package
right. So I'll
creator.
throw some stuff on here. If you have Allen Robinson right now, and I shoot you over Debo Samuel, are you accepting or rejecting?
I'm the wrong guy to ask about that. But at today, depending on my needs, I would probably take Debo because A Rob's quarterback's in question right now. We've seen Justin Fields not do well. Um, I feel better if he had Foles, even. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I went there because I know you're a big A Rob guy,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so I just kind of wanted to
But I
test
do
the
like
water.
Debo's. He's got number one numbers, so it's like hard to like knock that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in a PPR, Debo. Hold on, let me go to season long here. So in a PPR, Debo is sitting at number 8 overall. So let's say, would you trade AJ Brown for Debo right now? If there was a package where you got, maybe Debo and somebody else for AJ Brown and something, you think you can get that much for him, or do we need to shoot a little lower? You know, Again, if you can maybe shoot Debo and try to put a package together, get like a Stephon Diggs. He's a guy I want to get into here when we start getting into wide receivers. Maybe DeAndre Hopkins, even though he may not be that guy over there, it looks kind of like an even share, but he is again a little banged up right now. Um, but again, always try to like trade up. Maybe like a Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill's coming off a couple bad games. Maybe you can package it with him. I doubt that can happen. The team would really need to be hurting. But I mean, again, like a DK Metcalf, somebody like that. So, um,
So you shooting for the stars right now,
To me, if you're gonna trade, trade. Don't there's no reason to trade waiver wire guys. Those guys will be picked up and dropped.
right?
You'll get them eventually. So Ryan says I made a trade for the future of my league because it's a rookie keeper league. It was Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Robert Woods for Najee, Calvin Ridley, and Hollywood Brown, who won. Um, it's a oh man for it's a rookie keeper league. So depending on what your keeper are, if it's like a pick, you know, I would like this trade more in a dynasty more so than a keeper because again, depending on your keeper rules, um, if you can't keep your number one pick, then I could see why you traded away Cook to get Najee. Especially with the points, that he has, especially if Ben's not throwing down the,
So
field
does
and
that
just
mean he
he's
gets to
checking off.
keep Najee because that's what a rookie
I would
keeper league
assume
is?
because yeah, so I assume Najee probably was the second round pick. So again, if it's a pick penalty, like how we do, if you
Yeah,
draft him
it's
in the second, now you get him in
one
the first
one
next
year. Yeah.
year. And then he gets Ridley depending on where he was picked or kept. Again, I'd have to know a little more about the league and the settings. Because again, that's a lot of firepower you're giving up. If anything, if I have Cook and Justin Jefferson, I'm trying to, get rid of Justin Jefferson. My trade target would have been maybe trying to get rid of Woods and somebody else to get Alexander Madison. To me, that's what I would have done personally. Or maybe trade Justin Jefferson for, like a DK Metcalf or a AJ Brown or somebody like that. So,
Dustin
um,
chimed in. Hey,
what up?
expecting that.
What up? What up, D? What up, man? Um, so them boys are saying he'd keep Debo over almost anyone you could actually get for him, and that's pretty much kind of where you're at right now. You kind of have to ride that wave out for as long as you can, and maybe hope you know the targets kind of stay like they are, and he just has those boom games. Um, Ryan says I sent OBJ, Daniel Jones, and Allen Robinson for Sam Darnold and Debo, waiting on a response. Um, I
Good
like
luck to
this.
you.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
good luck
I
to you
mean,
on
to
that
me,
one.
yeah.
That's that's a step up right
If
there.
you can pull that out, yeah, to me, you're increased, you're upgrading your. I don't know why I couldn't find that word. My drink's empty. That's why. Uh,
Yeah. He's selling
um,
high on OBJ. He had a really
yeah,
good game. He just came back, a very good situation. Right now with the
not
market
OBJ,
down,
Daniel Jones. Or are you looking at a different question?
I sent OBJ, Daniel Jones, and Allen Robinson.
Oh, I didn't even see that there. Good job.
Oh, I'm
Oh
that
yeah, I
fast.
still like that
Apparently, you
too.
do
Yeah.
too.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
I was like, "What are you
Literally,
talking about?"
my mouse was literally, the cursor on the mouse
The
was
cursor
over
was
it. So
covering that part of it.
yeah, exactly. That was
That's
funny.
hella funny.
Okay. I was like, "What do you mean, OBJ? You looking at a different question?"
Well, because
Um,
I mean, the dude's not going to accept with Daniel Jones and Allen Robinson just to trade off
right.
Sam Darnold and Debo.
Yeah,
So
I think that was a great little
he's
piece to put
selling
there
high
with
on
it.
OBJ, packaging Daniel Jones, who's crap, but Allen Robinson's decent. He's hurting right now. We'll see what happens with the QB situation we were just talking about. So yeah, you'll win if you get Sam Darnold and Debo.
Yeah, I mean, you're kinda losing the quantity, section, but again, I don't mind picking up waiver wire guys to replace that depth. To me, Debo right now is a better starting option than Allen Robinson and OBJ in those offenses. So, Um, there it is. Brian Barnes, I think this is new guy here. What's up, Brian? Welcome to
What's
Get
up,
Right
Brian?
Fantasy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for us, man. Help us climb and get there. Trying to get to 4,000, but we're doing it 100 at a time. So he says, "What's up, man? I'm in an
We're doing
18
it one
full
at a time.
PPR. He's in one of those the leagues, an 18 full PPR. Those are awesome because it's just all superstar players.
Yeah, right. Everybody's
Um,
stacked.
those are fun. Yeah, you're not dealing with these like fringe guys. Everyone has a stack team, and it's like
Yeah.
who's the best one. So he says 18 full PPR. I have Allen, Ridley, Jefferson, Kamara, Montgomery, Waller, Lockett. Any trade targets ideas, or who should I be gunning for? So he has Allen, Ridley, Jefferson, Kamara, Montgomery, Waller, Lockett.
Go
I
for
think you keep.
CFC.
Yeah, you might be able to put. Definitely, he's who a guy I have definitely here on my buy list for running backs. Um, man, who would you try to go there? I mean, the guys I would try to trade
Or
again if
even go
this
for
is
Dalvin.
Again, if you can get any of those 2 guys, those are the first 2, running backs I have on my list.
Just
I
because 'cause
kinda
they're
wanted to
injured a little bit, and you could buy low on them. The guys are
and I
gonna be
have a
hurting on you,
question
right?
for you when we get there, so I don't
Yeah,
wanna
go go
kinda
ahead, go
spoil
ahead.
that.
I'll shut up.
But no, I mean, I'm right here with you, so who are you kinda thinking who else you should maybe target with these guys? To me, I'm thinking, um and again, is this Josh Allen, I'm assuming, as his quarterback? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Okay. I'm like, not Allen Robinson, right? So he would have said A-Rob. So Josh Allen, Calvin Ridley, Jefferson, Kamara, Montgomery, and Waller and Lockett. Man, I kinda like that team. Like, to me, if I was trading anybody, I'd try to maybe trade
Lockett is like
Ridley.
his flex.
Yeah, I mean, I would maybe try to trade Ridley if you can maybe, um, trade off Ridley,
I would trade off Ridley and Lockett.
depending yeah, what else you have on your bench, if you can maybe package Ridley and Lockett to get some other pieces there. Um Those are maybe who I'd look to sell more so than who I would know to maybe target, because I don't know who your other teams are going against and kinda where their strength and weaknesses are and how you, compare, to those teams. So, you know, I mean, I like that Kamara Montgomery, backfield in a 12 team, but I don't know if that's very, good in an 8 team. I haven't
Yeah.
played an 8 team in a long, long time.
Oh, no, no. Yeah,
That was back when we barely had 7 people that knew how to play
yeah,
fantasy football.
yeah.
So
Scrape
yeah,
trying
man.
to scrape
So
guys to talk him into playing fantasy football.
absolutely. So Brian, make sure you get in that description. Hit us up on Twitter at Get Right Fantasy. It's right there down below. Or you can get on our
Sleeper.
sleeper, getting part of the community. Send us screenshots of your league, your other, the other teams. I'll dive into it, man. I love nerding out on people's teams and people's leagues. I could definitely tell you some guys and teams I would maybe target that you can maybe work some trades off with. So I love doing that stuff. You'll see on our website, getrightff.com, under my bio, it says Trade Guru. I don't know if these guys in here would vouch for that, but I just love geeking out on trades, man. So send me those things and we'll definitely work that out. So welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. So Najee Harris is my keeper player. Yeah. So that's what I was
That's what
saying.
we
Yeah. So
thought.
that's
So
a good
that's the
keeper.
rookie
Yeah.
that he's going for.
Exactly.
That's
And
good to
then them
see.
boys said if they accept that, then you need to go buy a oh, we're
Sorry, my
fighting
bad.
over
Go
the
ahead.
comments. Go ahead.
No, go
I'll let
ahead.
you
Go
try.
ahead.
All right. So he says if they accept, then you'll need to go buy a lottery ticket. Then Ryan, I'd agree. So we'll see if that happens. Sometimes with that 3 for 1, you never know depending on how competitive the league is. Definitely not in our listener leagues, man. No one's trading nobody over there. It's tight knit. No one wants to give an inch to anybody over there. So I had a less than 1 point loss this week that threw me to 1-2. I'm like in 11th place because of that. So
Shut up. Less than
yeah,
1 point?
dude,
That's
it's yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Was
Magoats
it
got
was
me,
it the
man.
kneel downs?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Nah, maybe
I
it
read an
was. Do
article
I
about
have
that.
Dak in that? I'm gonna have to look that up actually. Let me actually because I think I might have him in that league. I
I
gotta
got, I
know
got,
that.
I got. That was the story.
Here,
Dak goes out.
go
He
through the
gets the
rest of the
numbers.
comments. Get caught up on
Okay,
the comments.
okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna go look that up
All
right now because I gotta
right.
find out if
Check
that's
out
what
the bench
happened.
here. We go.
I'm gonna be pissed
But
off.
we were
But
just talking about victory formation. I don't like the fact that the quarterback goes in for victory formation, kneels down a couple times. Next, you lose a couple fantasy points and lose the game. It says my bench is Mike Davis, Damian Harris, Fuller, Marvin Jones, Higgins, and Michael Thomas in IR. I got Michael Thomas in IR. Anthony's got Michael Thomas in IR. I followed after suit after he did it, and I was like, I need to get some of
I know
that
you bastard. That's why I hate drafting. We need to draft at the same time in both leagues.
right? Dual drafting, right? Uh, Mike Davis. Hopefully, I had high hopes for him. It's been rough for him. Hopefully, it straightens out the ship over there. I'm not certain. Damian Harris has been doing pretty good.
I would
Fuller,
honestly keep Davis over. I would trade Ridley before Davis and split up that stack, but keep the running back if you can, because he's
yeah,
an okay RB3.
yeah. Marvin Jones doing all right. Higgins, doing pretty good too. Um, did he? Is he the one that's hurt right now? No, or yeah, Higgins is hurt right now because Boyd's is the one up, right?
Yeah, Boyd and Chase. Yeah,
Yeah. So, um, yeah,
start
that's
those
decent,
guys.
decent teams. Yeah, start those guys there. There. Where we going, Drew?
Yeah, I would try to
Traded
trade,
D Hop.
Pittman, Ridley. I would package, like, Pittman and Ridley and try to get, like, maybe a Cooper, Amari Cooper, or, who else do I have on my handy dandy paper here,
Oh,
for buy targets? Maybe like a Diggs, if you can shoot that high. Maybe get a Deontay Johnson that's hurt right now as well. I like his targets. Again, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, those guys that we were drafting in the second, third round that aren't producing right now. Go get them. We were
we
drafting
get a
there for a
Terry,
reason.
scary Terry.
Yeah, 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 exactly. So go get those guys. Target, shoot for the stars, and settle. You could settle for a little less, but
Yeah,
shoot for the stars if you're packaging like that. All right. Drew says traded D Hop and Justin Jefferson in a half PPR league today as well. Who won? Oh, D Hop for Justin Jefferson. I like that trade a lot. I do like that. I think I was just saying earlier, I don't think Hopkins is going to get the amount of targets as he can. Kyler seems to be spreading the ball around in that offense a little more than he was last year. Looks like that was a point of emphasis that he had um, to maybe make this offense more potent. And we've seen, what that capability is, been able to do. Maybe the game slowed down for him more to get through his progressions. Interestingly enough, if you look up his stats, I believe his rushing's not even that high. He's actually doing a lot of this with his arm this year. Again,
yeah,
I think
he's
I said
settled in.
he's a quarterback 2 overall, and that's not because of running on the ground. So he's been doing well as far as spreading
Yeah,
the ball
Justin
around.
Jefferson
So
like that.
yeah, he only has 17 carries for 70 yards. I mean, he does have 3 touchdowns on the ground, but the yardage isn't too crazy. Only 17 attempts in 3 games. That's not too bad for him. Um,
Yeah, I think you got the upside in Jefferson for sure. Though.
Absolutely. I like the Jefferson side. He said trade away Antonio Brown for Deontay and Deontay for Keenan. I think that's a little too much. I actually really like Antonio Brown and Deontay. I would try to maybe if you want to maybe trade Deontay and somebody else instead of Antonio Brown. But
Like a
Antonio
waiver
Brown's going
wire
to
guy.
have, yeah,
Yeah,
not like waiver wire, but maybe like another, wide receiver 3.
3. Yeah,
To me, Antonio Brown's like a high end wide receiver 2, low end wide receiver 2, but on any given week. Um, Deontay Johnson, we know the Big Ben issues there. So if I see the reason why you'd want to upgrade Deontay to Keenan Allen, I'm fine with that. I just think Antonio Brown with him is a little too much. Again, depending on who else you have, and if you're starting 2 wide receivers, then, definitely do it. So yeah, a little more info on those. I would try to trade a running back for someone like Lockett or JJ or maybe Fuller or Jones for an RB1. Um, so that's for I think our guy up here for Brian.
for Brian. Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah,
Brian's team.
for this guy here. So Dim Boy is our ambassador in the chats. He's going to be answering your guys, especially if we don't get to your questions first. Keep your eyes on the chat. Dim Boys will be on it, and we'll get to it soon. Cash is stylist. Welcome to Get Right Fantasy. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for us. We're climbing over 200. We'd appreciate the support. We're going to get to your question here. How do we feel about Dawson Knox? He has Tunyon and Cook. He needs a tight end. It's his only hole. If he didn't draft Kelsey or Waller or Kittle, maybe Andrews and Hawkinson, you pretty much have a tight end hole in your
Yeah,
streaming tight end. A lot of
everybody,
us are in that
everybody's in
same
the same
boat.
situation. Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of us are in that same boat. Um, Cash, definitely check out our channel here. You'll go back and see I'm not the greatest with tight ends. I usually kind of step out of the channel. I step away from the mic when we start talking about tight ends. But in all seriousness, he has the potential, right? I mean, he's part of a high-powered offense. This is what you look for when you're streaming a tight end. You're looking for touchdown upside. You're looking for target upside. So that means you're looking for offenses that are, willing to throw the ball, um, and have that ability there. So to me, Knox, Tanya, and Cook, they're all kind of, that streaming type of guy. So to me, you're kind of
yeah,
playing matchup. Just kind of pay attention to the matchups. If you're talking about specifically for this week, I'd have to check into it. Again, we get more into our start sits on Friday. So definitely come back and, check us out then. But, as far as rest of season outlook, um, to me, there's no, pick a guy. I mean,
yeah.
just
I mean, I just
if you
looked
know,
at the
yeah,
season. It's got him ranked: Tanyan, Cook, Knox,
There you
and
go.
Tanyan and Cook are literally almost next to each other, and Knox is a couple down. So I mean, like Anthony
But he's
said,
climbing.
it's a streaming
Yeah, he's climbing.
situation. Yeah, it's a streaming situation. Yeah, he's he had a good game, and he's like Anthony mentioned, he's on a good offense, but so is Tanyan. And depending on who's feeling good that day, you could have Aaron Rodgers throw 3 touchdowns to Robert Tanyan one day, and the same thing could happen to Dawson Knox or even Cook.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
just grain script, who they're playing against, matchups, things like that. So if you got two guys, I would just stick to two guys and play the daily fantasy pick. Um, I wouldn't necessarily feel like I'd have to pick up Knox if I already had Tanya and Cook. You know what I mean? You're not
Right.
gaining anything. You're not gaining.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's good. Dustin's chiming in. For those of you that are new to the channel, Dustin is our third. Um, here he is part of the channel. He just couldn't join us tonight. Behind the mic, we all do this just part time, man. We don't do this full time. This is something we just do in our free time for you guys. We enjoy it.
This is our
And
passion, so
just
we
this
share the
is
passion with you guys.
this is what we love, man. We love just diving into this stuff and talking about it all day, all night. So, Dustin says he grabbed Knox in a few leagues. He says it's Grim at tight end right now, and that's pretty much all of our sentiments right now.
Hmm.
So again, if he's picking him up, he's definitely one of those guys that are hot right now. So you kind of ride it
Hey,
until the next wave, comes around.
yeah.
So
When we
Dim
get to one
Boys
of the
is
top 4 or 5,
chiming in.
that's it.
Yeah. We have Dim Boys chiming in pretty much a lateral trade Drew in regards to the D hop for Justin Jefferson. He's saying just because it's the offense, but that's just a personal preference for him. So, again, this is why we do this. Again, hit that description, come down, join the Sleeper channel community, the Get Right community. We'll give you all of our differences, opinions here, and we'll talk it out. So, Dim Boys for president, that's what's up. He said, if you can't get that if you can get that FF season, then I definitely would. Um,
Talking about the
so
trade earlier.
Season is saying to go ahead and or I'm sorry, so Them Boys is telling Season to go ahead and just get that done. Again, I like it, but I think for those two guys he might be able to get a little higher. But again, remember, a trade is only a trade if someone's willing to pay for it. So if that's your only offer or what someone's willing to get, if you feel it can improve your team, you never know if you'll have that window of opportunity again. So sometimes you have to, overpay a little bit to get what you
Yeah.
need. I have no
It's
problem
whatever
doing that.
anybody's willing to accept or move on. And
Yeah.
if you
So
can't get that move from that person and you really want that guy, it's what it takes to get it if that's what you're comfortable with as well.
yeah, you guys know your leagues and who you're playing against and how competitive they are. All that comes into light. So we're just kind of giving you the generalities of the situation. So doesn't mean that's what you can pull off, in your leagues. Um, so I think we got that one already. Yeah, we were there. Grab Knox. I think I went back a little bit.
We're over here. Yeah, you went backwards.
Yeah, there we go. I got all mixed up.
Okay.
So don't trust
Dawson
the Villa
Schultz is
waivers.
available in waivers. I
I
can
can
see.
snag him up or drop Jalen Rager. Do it. Logan Thomas is his current. I like Logan Thomas. I'm rocking with him. I believe in our Got Left Out listener league. Um, for those who didn't make it into the official listener league, he is available. He is definitely a hot name that came off the wire this week. Um, we'll see. Again, to me, he's just another streamer. Jalen Rager, I don't think is anything special. So if you feel like you need to have another option, to me, Logan Thomas as of right now is kind of you set him and forget him until he puts up like 3 or 4 dud games
Dud.
in a row, and then
Yeah.
I would look into doing something. But as of right now, to me, he's in that top 5 to 10 tight end guys. I just feel comfortable kind of plugging him in there, and I get what I get out of him. So um, that's how I feel. What about you?
No,
Did I let you talk on
I
that one?
take Dalton. I'll take Dalton's over Jalen Rager. Just for the depth, I like Dalton better. And they're both be bench guys anyways. Like you said, you're gonna start Thomas till further notice, till he's like you mentioned, throw up a couple duds, or he's just the matchup. Maybe he has a bad matchup, and then you throw Schultz's. Just
Yeah,
that situation that you got. Obviously, depending on the rest of your team, but I would rather hold Schultz over Rager if you have to make the move. You know,
right. Oh yeah, and Cash is coming back here. I think I got a hit again, but he said, "Yeah, I feel y'all. I know I'm splitting hairs, just trying to figure out who's gonna get 5 points rather than 3." And we feel you there,
for
my
sure.
brother.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
feel you there.
Yeah,
And again, I
that
lost
is
by
the
1 point
reality of
this
it.
week, man. So I lost by less than 1 point this week. So those points matter. Every point, every yard matters. So
Yeah.
um, go get it. Again, come back with us. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Mike and I will be here on Friday. We dive down into everything for the sit starts. We haven't had a show that's less than 2.5 hours yet on
Yeah,
Friday.
get comfortable in that
Um,
show.
sit in, grab yourself a drink. It gets fun. Pour a drink. We're here late,
Or 5.
answering everybody's questions. Yeah, one for every hour. But no, we'll definitely dive into to more of those. And our guy Mike, definitely dives into those tight ends, and he'll have a ton of stats for you to help you break that down. So we'll bring that fire on Friday. So again,
See?
we appreciate you. We appreciate you here.
Them boys
Um,
agrees. I like
of
Schultzville
course he
vinegar.
agrees. Of course he agrees with you there. Then boy, he
But
said
he did
also
say
said,
this. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
He's already, responded to somebody else. If
Well,
you're
no,
0 and
because I
3.
was gonna get to that because he said, "Should I trade CMC for Henry if possible?" So
Oh,
he's responding, "Yeah, if you're 0-3, then you need to do that because, you need to win now. McCaffrey's out for another 2 weeks, probably 1 to 2 weeks at least, and then again, we never know what can happen. We saw what happened last year. So, again, if you can swing that right now, for the RB1, dude has 8 carries. Next closest person to him, let me break out my paper here. Uh,
oh
next
yeah,
closest
Dustin brought
Next
that up
closest
about
person
Henry.
to him has 67, which is Joe Money Mixon there with 67 attempts. But my
Yeah,
man Henry
money
has
hold
80.
attempt. Yeah,
Joe Mixon has 67. So go get him.
targets equals touches, touches equals touchdowns.
There
Remember
it
the
is.
T's, boys.
There it is. There it is. I love it.
So stick with the
Um,
numbers.
and Dim Boys was saying, ask that Magic 8 Ball because none of us know that tight ends outside of the top five are just pure crapshoot. And that's what we're saying. So we all agree there. But like I said, he's trying to get 5 instead of 3. So we'll help you get there on Friday, my guy. So welcome to the channel. Again, hit that subscribe button. Um, he says, I appreciate it. I got more engine question now. How do y'all feel about Barkley? Keep or sell? Their schedule is rough. Yeah, we're never gonna get into these other things. I love just taking questions, man. We'll just do all Q&A show. This is why I
Well,
love it.
I have Barkley. I brought him on. He
I'm a
um
Barkley owner as well.
Yeah, and he had a decent game. He's been getting more targets game by game, looking better to better. I've already got trade offers sent to me for him. I picked him up, drafted him just to trade him, anyways. So I'm a sell high on him. If you're gonna do it, go, get somebody that you want from him. I was trying to get shoot, Tyreek Hill. I was trying to package to get Tyreek Hill with,
There you
Saquon
go.
because the owner is very, very much hurting that running back. I've been stacking them all so that I could, have them
That's
pop
my
off
kind
like
of
this
trade.
and better off my team so that when they go sell high, this is all I'm saying. You never
Yep,
know. This guy's a breakable. He's gonna get hurt again soon. So I got
there it
one
is.
more game in it for him before he's definitely off my team if I can.
There it is. You heard it there. I'm kind of in a hold pattern where I got him, as a RB2. To me is a nice value for my team and how it's constructed. So for me, I'm kind of riding or dying with him. Not really looking to sell him. If somebody comes at an offer with me, like I said, maybe I would, but so far I haven't received any offers because what's my nickname in our league? The dentist, because trying to trade with me is like pulling teeth. So uh, be prepared to
They
put your
called you
little
the dentist, really?
yeah. I got the nickname the dentist now instead of Rasta, the trade guru. Now I'm just the dentist because, like I said, I don't like giving out more than I need to, and I'm proud about saying that. So I'm okay with that. I can live with that.
Oh,
Let's
you're the
see.
dentist. Shit, I haven't made a trade yet, and these people put like 80 something trades in. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. So Dylan says he's 2-1, but he's going into some tough matchups. He's just looking to have a healthy squad for the playoffs. So yeah, so you're looking good at a 2-1. You're in the catbird seat as of right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, with that hamstring, we never know how that thing could, go. And again, we saw what happened last year with him. We know Henry's built like a tank. Again, until he goes down, I'm expecting a full 17 games of, you know, 20 to 25 carries a game, and my man's averaging. Let me break out my target thing here. But Henry's 12 of 13, so 12 catches on 13 targets through 3 games. So Um, again, he's tied right up there. CMC has he's only 4 less targets than CMC through week 3. Yeah, CMC was hurt, but it's okay. I'm just saying. It's a better dramatic effect.
He said, "Alright, screw it. I'm picking him up.
There it
He's going
is.
for Schultz."
Absolutely. So, we got into that. Brooks here saying Keenan Allen isn't even the wide receiver 1 on that team now, it's, Mike Williams,
Williams.
season.
Seems that
So,
way.
yeah. I mean, it kinda is. But PPR, I think still Allen's getting them. I'd have to look into that a little more. But
I
both
still
these
feel more
guys,
comfortable with
with
Keenan Allen.
Herbert, yeah, that they're there.
We've
Yeah,
seen Mike Williams do this before.
he's definitely consistent. Yeah, his injuries come in, and again, if you watch the games, you would see he would be an elite wide receiver 1, but dude just keeps dropping stuff all crazy all the time. He makes little silly mistakes, that are preventing him from being the guy that he should be.
Top echelon, yeah.
Yeah, but again, this could be the
I've been
season.
waiting on that for years from that guy.
Yeah, so it could be the year. It could be the year. I'm
This is the one.
yeah. I'll buy him next year if he proves it to me this year. All right, so he says I hate Barkley, so I try to trade him, possibly get
Wait, you
CMC.
skipped this whole, like,
Oh, my bad.
is Zeke sell high after the monster game, or
I was
are you
trying to
comfortable
finish
with him
that.
moving
I
forward?
was trying to finish that
Oh, the
conversation
other
before
thing?
getting
Oh, okay,
into
let me
another
finish. Go ahead, on
conversation.
my
Yeah.
bad. We'll come
No,
back
it's
to that.
okay. It's okay. So
No,
that's all
finish
it
the
was.
conversation.
Yeah, no, so that's what he was saying. He would trade Barkley to but just remember he's a Cowboys fan. So don't take uh
That much to
all
heart,
that to
right?
light. Yeah, seriously. Is Zeke so high after the monster game, or are you comfortable with him moving forward? What
I
say
get
you,
more
Frank?
comfortable. I get more comfortable. I was honestly, I was like, let's go with Tony Pollard over Zeke.
You were there,
But
huh?
Yeah, oh, it was way there. Like I seen the speed that Tony Pollard had. Tony Pollard looks like Zeke when he first got into the league. The speed, the cuts, the just the sheer will to want to play the game. It seemed like, but
They're
Zeke
just
is,
built different.
yeah, yeah.
They're
But
just
Zeke's,
built different.
yeah, exactly. Now he's back. He's back into his groove. Um, and the team's offense is, you know, uh, getting more balance. It's just balancing itself out. It's not just Dak throwing 400 or 500 yards. They're actually running the ball, establishing the run. The defense is helping the team stay on the field. So I definitely feel more comfortable with Zeke. I would not sell him high. I would ride that pony to the end.
Okay. So you're riding him out. You're kinda like,
Yeah,
me with Gibson. Like, if I have him, I'm riding that train out,
yeah.
but not you. You're looking to trade him, I heard, so we're still gonna have that conversation when we get done. Um,
I just want to get your juices
I'm not
flowing.
gonna let you
You can't
forget
even
about
let it
that.
go right now.
Literally all I'm thinking about right now is
He's
get
like, let the
Gibson, don't
show in.
forget about
Let me talk about
get
this.
Gibson. Yeah, we need to get Gibson. So who we got here? Keenan Allen. Oh, yeah, and we said that. Brooks said definitely just an air imagined target share receptions than it used to be, though. But again, once Williams goes down, he'll have those 16 target games again. So that's why we left Keenan. Diggs and Keenan for Tua. Whew. I mean, or Diggs for Keenan and Tua. I thought it was the other way around. That was a little more interesting trade. I don't think Diggs is worth Keenan and Tua. Like, are you trading away Diggs for? Yeah, he's Diggs for Keenan and Tua. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
being offered this or you're offering this. Um,
I would not be
which
doing
side do you
either way.
have? I'm keeping the Diggs side in
Yeah,
this one.
exactly. I'm just keeping Diggs. I'm not even looking at the rest.
Yeah, I assume it's super flex as well. I know season plays a lot of super flex, so
Oh, that makes a
um,
difference then why you would like it.
yeah. So if
I
it's a
would still
super
keep it
flex,
Diggs.
if you need a QB, like if you only have 2 QBs and you need a third, then maybe you can. But I mean, again, Diggs is elite. I mean, we had him ranked, in our top 3 heading into the year, so he's gonna get there. He'll get there. Zeke will be fine going forward. He's still getting a large majority of the snaps and will continue to get RB1 volume. So he was definitely agreeing with you there, Frank.
Mhm.
Dustin's chiming in here saying someone offered me Chuba and Sterling for DJ Moore and Taysom. Should I never talk to this guy again? Dustin,
I would take him.
that's just the starting point, man. Just I mean, I know you're in like 14,000 leagues, but just send me a counter.
You
I
would take
already
that.
said
Why wouldn't you take that offer?
I'm offering him Chuba and Sterling Shepard for DJ Moore and Tyson Williams
That's what I'm
because
saying.
he has CMC for the
He's
record. So to me, it's actually not that bad of a trade. But if you want a little more, then come get me. I'll let you know
Yeah,
if it's
I was
worth a
gonna
little
say that.
more or
Why
not.
wouldn't you not take that?
That's
You're only
to me
losing DJ Moore.
to me
Tyson's
that's
a droppable.
that's not one of my egregious trades, That's not an
Yeah,
egregious trade to me.
I would drop Tyson, by the way, just saying,
Offer. But anyway, I wouldn't talk to that guy ever again.
which I already have anyways. Yeah, don't talk to him anymore.
I wouldn't talk to the guy that has, Tyson Williams in that situation. Um, but yeah, let's work that out, Dustin. Come on, I know you want Chuba. Get him. You need him. I seen your bench. Anyway, if you really need a QB, then sure, but Diggs and Keenan are kind of a wash, and two is a throwaway unless you have someone like Zach or like Mac or Zach Wilson. So that's kind of what we were saying as well. I'd rather kind of keep that Diggs side. Again, Tua's hurt. You're not really buying low if you're giving up Diggs for Tua. So I don't really like that. If I'm giving up Diggs, at least give me like if I'm going to be buying high on somebody, at least buy high on Carr, who's thrown for 400 yards and 2-3 touchdowns.
It's inflated. It's inflated.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I've
Superflex,
been saying
he
that.
has
I've been
Fields as
mentioning that.
QB2, Lance as
They've had
QB3.
two overtime games. He's literally played a whole half of a game more than compared to the other quarterbacks out there. So yeah, you're gonna have more air yards. Just saying. Like
Definitely don't talk to them again, Dustin.
he's played 3.5 games. So I'm just saying.
You guys gotta know he has CMC. He has no other running back. It's a different
Should I say
situation there.
CEH for Jamari Chase? Ooh,
Um,
ooh.
really have Braden Gonzalez. I don't know if you've been with us here before. If you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button for us. Welcome to Get Right Community. But to me, I would say if it's a PPR, then yes, you want to do it. Probably on this. Just really depends on what your running back situation is. Just again, we did a lot of mock drafts this year. Typically, CH was taken in that as an RB2 type role. If
Yeah,
you're fortunate enough to get him as an RB3, then I like this trade, especially if you're hurting at wide receiver. If you went running back heavy, but if you didn't, then I would just you know that's a little tough because I kinda usually lean towards the running back. I don't like trading running back for wide receiver straight up unless you're clearly getting a tier level ahead for that other position and you have the depth to replace that player. So, um, then boys, of course, disagrees with me and says, "Yes, make that trade now." Um, so let us know with
yeah.
the
He wants Jamar Chase. That's what he's saying. How is he disagreeing? You?
yeah, no, he's saying, "Should I trade CH for Jamar Chase?" And so he's saying, "Yes, you should make that trade
No, I know, but
now."
you're saying keep CEH. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to me, I think you need to keep CH depending on what your team build is. Again, running backs are so
Okay, yeah.
scarce. Yeah. So, good point. Dustin is leaning, saying he wants Chase on that too. And again, in a PPR, like I said, I probably would lean that way. If it's non PPR, I'm keeping CEH. Because Higgins is going to come back. So you're not going to, you're kind of buying Chase a little high. You're also kind of selling CH a little high. So it's kind of like the perfect trade, really, if you think about it. So not bad. So we're finally caught up on the
But you got
Q&A
three
there.
guys going for Chase, except for Anthony, who's takes CEH for whatever
Yeah,
that's worth.
exactly.
Them
So
boys, Dustin and myself, are going for Chase.
there you go. So I'd probably go with the majority on that one. But it makes it much better when you have three people against you when you can come back at the end of the year and say, "Told you so."
Told you so, right?
Told you so.
Should have kept some
Let me let
CEH.
me let me break out the
Want
paper
to point
here.
this out? Point this out. Good point, Frank. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know.
there it is.
All
All
right,
right.
so we good?
So yeah, so I think I mean we're kind of talking about some of these guys, but just to kind of go into the running backs again, guys that we're looking to buy, just to kind of recap, CMC, Cook,
Yeah, yeah.
Barkley, other guys, Gibson we have on there as well. Other guys that I kind of have mentioned on here. We don't have to go into a lot of depth on it, but I have Kareem Hunt. Might be a good person you can maybe target. Looks like again that run first offense is supporting both Chubb and Hunt. So, if you can maybe get him as one of those pieces in a package. Again, it's not the sexy name. He's the RB2 there. But if you look at the numbers that he's putting up with that standalone value, let alone if Chubb were to go down for any significant time, you have a RB1. So he's definitely a guy I'm looking for. If you are the Cook owner, then you need to do what you can to try to get Madison once Cook comes back. Just focus on getting Madison in case Cook, misses more time. Like we talked about earlier, he has potentially a high ankle sprain. I don't want to say it is a high ankle sprain. He did participate today in a limited fashion. We'll see if he gets in a full practice by Friday. If he doesn't, he'll most likely sit again,
Yeah, for
potentially
sure.
1 to 2 more weeks. So, We already kind of talked about that. Any other running backs that you have on your list to buy?
Hold on. I had it on the phone. So. But I wanted to address this real quick. FF season that brought this up, and I think this is a situation for many running backs in the league right now, and what's going on with them. I think that the teams are, how should I put it? I mean, some of them are in running back by committee situations, obviously, and they're basically trying to save them for later on in the season for playoffs and beyond, or just a
That
run
extra
at the
game.
playoffs. And I think that's happening for with a lot of teams taking it easy on their star running back, and they're poured on later on so that they're good and healthy later on, and just don't get tired through the season, so they have full tank of gas going into the end. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, and I want to kind of add on to that as well. You guys know me; we've had this discussion off air. But to me, also the reason why you want to get these type of running backs, especially ones that are in those type of climate situations, are once the weather gets bad, it's windy, it's snowy, it's rainy. That running back's going to get 20 carries a game now. They're not going to be airing the ball out 40, 50 times in these bad weather, games, in the East Coast and stuff like that. So, that's when we see these guys, get those 20 carries, and that's when they really start, pouring it on. As you guys know, usually at the beginning of the year, when it's, coming out of summer, going into fall, it's perfect weather, nice weather. Guys are even cramping on the field because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Once it starts getting cold, it starts getting nitty gritty. Guys, it
Rain
gets
and wind
nasty in
started
there.
happening, and you need to
Yeah,
be on the ground.
exactly. So those passing numbers start to come down just a smidge in those outdoor games, and those are running backs you want to target. So just a little thought there.
So one last
Um,
guy, Miles Sanders, basically only had like 2 touches against Dallas.
that's a nice buy low.
Maybe he's a buy low candidate there because somebody's gonna be, like, stressing on this dude. He'll be fine. They just had a bad game. It was just whatever. You know what I mean? Like, obviously,
They just
Dallas dominated that thing, but it was pretty much a bad game on the Philly side, and, that's it. I mean, what are you gonna say about it?
exactly. So yeah, so that's who I have. Any guys you're looking to possibly sell, maybe after a good week 3 or a good couple weeks here, start of the season, kind of overperforming that you might be able to,
Well, the one we
buy one of
mentioned
these.
earlier was Saquon Barkley is my high sell, trying to get him either this week or next week. Hopefully, he performs well again. He'll have those 2 games in the books, and people start seeing him as like, okay, yeah, I could probably roll with this guy. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to have the value for me specifically. That's one guy I think that people drafted late or picked him up, and he's on there as an RB 3, 4, and definitely a trade piece that you could definitely improve your team with, especially being a running back. And then, of course, you might want to keep him for depth because people be dropping like flies.
Yeah. Well, I know in a lot of the leagues I'm in, he pretty much went by, mid second round is maybe the latest that I saw him go. Um, there. So that means he's usually slotted in as somebody's either RB1 or RB2, depending if they went, Kelsey or wide receiver one, ahead of that. Um,
Like me.
so yeah, but again, that's how you know somebody's a good
That's
guy. He's on my buy list. He's on your sell list, and that's how you know that's a guy you want to work out a trade for because there's going to be trade partners out there for somebody like that. Um, one guy I have on here is James Robinson after his good game after having kind of 2-0 games. We're not sure what's going on, with the team, what that is. Again, he went 6 for 6,
it's the QB
46 yards and
situation.
a touchdown.
Yeah.
So if you can sell high on him right now, package him to get, again, one of these underperforming or maybe one of these hurt running backs, then we can go there. Just to, not elaborate too much more time on it. Maybe honorable mention is Zach Moss, guys like, Jamal Williams, Naeem Hines, uh, Mike Davis, Cordell Patterson. Maybe these are some guys you can potentially package in trades to, trade for some of these guys that we have on our buy list. Like the CMCs, the Cooks, the
You made me
Barclays,
think about Marlon
guys
Mack.
like that.
Been offered up for a trade now. Finally,
Yeah,
and released out of that backfield. Maybe he could get a starting job somewhere,
right.
or at
Maybe
least help out better more than he's doing now. You know what I mean?
he'll probably go over to Baltimore too.
Probably.
um, you never know. So that's who I have. One thing I just kind of wanted to get your thought on. How do you feel about trading for injured players just in general? What are your thoughts on that? Are you
Uh,
stay away from injured players, or do you try to, like, target those guys that have are you willing to take that risk,
it depends
to
on the talent
potentially
and
have a
the
league
injury.
winner? Well,
If
we're
it's
talking, Cook, CMC, I'm talking about
yeah,
these type of
I
guys,
those
these
guys and
first
the
round,
injuries that they
second round
currently
guys,
have are going to be out. What
multiple
4 weeks
games,
max? Let's say 4 weeks max, right? Around for both
mhm,
of them, 4 weeks max.
and then
Um,
potential for re-aggravation, just like we saw
yeah,
with CMC
yeah,
last year, so is that a risk you're
and
willing to take?
that all depends on my depth. And currently I have plenty of depth at running back, so I would take either one of those guys if I could, because I'll throw
Yeah,
some
but you
other guys
drafted
in
at the
there and just
12 spot, not in the 1 spot. So in a
yeah,
1 spot drafted team, again, we were home of the Friday night mocks as you see here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, we did a lot of mock drafts, and usually when you're drafting CMC 1 and you're picking 24 picks later,
You got
you're not
nobody
usually
as
able
number
to
two.
have that RB depth. So
Yeah,
again,
you're
if
not
you have
getting that
McCaffrey,
depth.
he's kind of that guy for your team. You're going anchor RB there.
So
So
as the CMC owner, you want to trade off to get two good running backs or something, see what you could get to improve your team. But as the guy that's trying to get him, obviously, if you're going for him, you already figured out whether your team could hold up for those weeks that he's out.
right,
Because if you have him, then you're golden. If you don't, or if he re-injures himself, like it happened to Anthony last year, he traded for him, held on for weeks and weeks, came back, had you what like a 50-point game, and then goes right back out again.
basically. Yeah, basically.
So you kept him for like ever for like basically one game and
All
50
year.
points that he had. And how did that work out for you?
It was like 28, but still. I got what?
Yeah.
4th? I think I got 4th last year in
All
that
right.
league. But
So he
yeah,
still made the
still.
playoffs, even with all that being said.
Yeah, I mean, I had Mike Davis. I picked up James Robinson. That's the only reason why I
It's
was
your
even
team
still
makeup.
in it.
It's your team
But
makeup.
yeah,
It's hard. It's that's like hard to say, but obviously you want to have the best players available, and CMC is a number one. So like if
yeah,
you can get him, you can get him. Go get him. You know what I mean?
yep.
But
And
your
at,
team is
at
going to be definitely hurting.
Yeah, and as you just said, obviously you know my side of it because you just said it. I'm willing to take that risk for a league winner like that. When one of these top 5 drafted position guys goes down, especially if he was producing at that level, if he goes down and that team needs help, and I feel like I can get around it again. If you're 2-1, 3-0, if you can maybe again with that extra game this year, maybe float a game here or there, or just kind of play a little DFS and know when the playoffs come, you have CMC. So again, chance for re-aggravation. May not perform as well, but again, those are all risks I'm willing to take for trading for injured players. Again, depending on the injury. So
All right, one last one before we go here from FF
we
season.
haven't even got into wide receivers yet.
Well, I gotta go. Here pretty soon.
It's all
Uh,
good.
What do you make of the Bears QB situation? Nagy's just been total idiot, but it seems like a mess. So, in all fairness to him, he has been saying that Andy Dalton is his starter and has been his starter the whole season. It was continue to be his starter, other than the fact of injury. Now we got an injury for Dalton, and then Justin Fields is looking like he's got an injury now. So we're looking at just Nick Foles. So it's just a matter of injuries, not necessarily who he's trying to start or what's going on over there as far as who he wants to start. He wants to start Andy Dalton. He knows that Justin Fields is not ready. Obviously, he put him in the game, and you could see it. But probably would have continued starting Justin Fields just to get him, reps and game time in the NFL because you got to go with it. But being that he's injured, you just got to go with what the next man up that's healthy.
Right. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna echo that just for the sake of time. It is a mess over there. We'll see what shakes out. Just keep paying attention. We'll see what happens. They'll let us know. But like you said, Dalton, ooh, excuse me, Dalton's pretty much the starter at this point.
Yeah, when he
Like you said,
comes back, he's going to be starting. I'll be happy too.
yeah, and it seemed like they were all doing a little better when that happened. So kind of be
Yeah,
careful what you wish for. Um,
A Rob would be better.
Absolutely. So that's a perfect segue to get us into wide receivers real quick. Just give me kind of maybe your top 3, guys you might be looking to buy because their value is a little low right now.
A Rob would be one of the since
There you
we're
go. That's why I
talking
said
about
perfect
it.
segue. Perfect
Literally
segue.
right there. He'd be a guy to go for.
So you're liking
I
him.
would even shoot for Cooper Cup. He got had a bad game. Amari Cooper. I'm sorry, Amari Cooper had a bad game. I wouldn't say call it a bad game, but he had injuries and it just wasn't a lot of targets. But at this point, he's going to be a decent RB wide receiver 2 compared to CeeDee Lamb, who's shooting up the charts as WR1. But he's been the numbers are there. He'll get his touch, his looks. It's just a matter of the, the gameplay and the offense that happens. Who else was hurt and injured? Cortland Sutton. He came back though, right?
Yeah, he came back, he's fine.
Yeah.
As far
Um,
as, like, injured wide receivers that you might be looking at, of course, there's the Julios. I don't know if anybody's really targeting him, but, of course, A.J. Brown is a potential target with his hamstring, probably out about
yeah.
2 weeks there. Maybe you can get AB, coming off his little COVID, issue. He's not even hurt, it was just a COVID, issue,
Yeah.
so, again, maybe you can target him. And other guys I have are, potentially Ayuk. It looks like he's again just rising that offense. He might be somebody you can get in a package deal and get good value on. Startable, guy. Again, we've talked about Woods. We've talked about Deontay Johnson. We've talked about Jacoby Myers. We've talked about Steph Diggs. D Hop. Sterling Shepard's hurt right now. He was seeing a lot of targets. Tyreek Hill might be a sneaky person you might be able to get, kind of coming off two underperforming kind of games up to his standard. And one guy I'm looking to get, not necessarily because he had a bad game, just because I want him on my team right now is Chris Godwin. So um, that's who I
Yeah. You
have as
mentioned two of the guys I sent offers for.
so there
Tyreek
it is.
Hill and Godwin.
There it is. There it is. So that's who we're looking at. So a couple cells again, just for the sake of time. I know you got to go, Frank. We'll just run through them here.
Yeah.
And again, feel free to add on to it. I don't mean to take it over, but I know you're trying to get out of here.
Oh, go ahead.
So a
Good.
couple cells I have agree or disagree with me. Tyler Lockett, Adam Thielen, Brandon Cooks, Debo Samuel, DJ Moore, Jamar Chase, Marquise Brown, Christian Kirk.
These are all
Uh,
yourselves?
yeah, CeeDee Lamb or Cooper. Those are guys that you might be able to, sell right now to get, good value on. Guys that I think may not sustain, what they're doing right now. Again, I do want to dive into a bigger, Cooper Lamb conversation because I do kind of have a whole conspiracy theory on the fact that they might turn back into a more running offense and we're not going to see those 400 and 500 yard games, which isn't going to support, two or three receivers there. I just don't think they'll be, in those mid-teens, like we kind of had them all ranked about, 13 and 16-ish, in our rankings for those two. If
Yeah,
they
it'll
keep
definitely
feeding
hurt him if
the rock
Zeke
there.
starts eating too much.
Yeah. So again, this is just a potential sell high. This isn't like, oh, fire sell and you got to get rid of these guys. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying these are guys that are, kind of overperforming their draft position that you can potentially, trade up for. I'm not saying trade, a number 3 guy for a, number 90 guy. But these are guys that you can put in packages right now that have good, potential value. That I would say kind of lucked out on. They're overperforming for where you drafted them. So that's that. Again, like I said, I'm sorry for running through all those, but if you want to add anything onto that, you
No,
can.
I'm good. You got good numbers on this. I should have had a better list on my receivers, actually.
That's all right. It's just that there's a ton of them out there. So again, it's a very
Yeah.
deep position. These guys are a lot of them are around the same tier, so it's a lot of just kind of personal preference and kind of matchup based and injury based and things like that. So again, the good thing is a lot of these are all of the there's good movement that can happen with these guys. Wide receivers are pieces that you put in a trade, especially if you're trying to get a running back or trading away a running back that kind of even out that value. Um, to where you still feel you're getting a good value for, trading off one of those RBs
He's got
or
some numbers on Lamb and
receivers.
Amari Cooper.
He always does, man. Keep firing him, bring him. We're there. Again, I don't get into tight ends usually, but just quick honorable mentions. Try to buy Kelsey and Kelsey. Um,
I'm not selling. I'm not selling. I'm not selling.
Exactly, that's pretty much what you're gonna get. You'll have to sell half your team to get Kelsey from anybody.
Yeah,
Probably the
it
most
went too
consistent
high for him.
fan.
I'm
Yeah,
running it till he dies. The wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
exactly,
Like whatever.
exactly. But if you can, if you have an opportunity, if the guy's 0-3, shoot out an offer, you never know what's gonna happen. The worst thing about a trade is seeing a trade go down for a guy that you thought was untouchable. So that's why I used to always just send trade offers. Now I'm just in too many leagues to do it. I don't have the energy anymore. So I think I've told 2 of our leagues now that I'm not even sending offers. I took the Dustin route. I'm only accepting or rejecting at this point. So it just is what it is.
Hey, but we did have a guy since you mentioned untouchables. Had a guy last night throw it out there. Patrick Mahomes is available, and it's in a keeper league.
Ooh,
But he
that's
knows
interesting.
who are you gonna give for Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, it's almost and where he has him, if it's a league I'm thinking of, it's, too much value. I don't know why he'd be looking to give that up, so
Well,
we'll
because if
take
he
that
does get
conversation out
somebody,
there.
he's gonna you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna get? League winner this year. He's only worried about this year.
Yeah, and that's what it is,
Which
man. Win now.
it's
You never
almost
know what's gonna
impossible
happen
though. How
later.
much are you gonna one team doesn't have enough to offer to get that one guy, and then by the time you get that one guy, you're gonna be decimated.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so we'll take our last question here before we sign off for tonight. We have
All right,
Kyle Ellis here, looks like another, new person
welcome,
here.
new guy. Yeah,
Welcome to the channel. Sorry that you came in here, but we're here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, anywhere between 9:30 and 10 PM. We just do this on the side, so kinda depending when we get out here, we'll
but he's
have,
happy. Was he
content
meant to
for you.
say he was happy that you came in here? Sorry, you came in
Absolutely.
late.
Yeah, sorry you
All
came in late because 'cause we're about to end it, but we still got to your question here.
right,
So
here we go.
8-man PPR, yeah, and hit that subscribe button. 8-man PPR, start 3 wide receivers and 3 running backs. So Ayuk 8-man PPR, they're starting 3 wide receivers and starting 3 running backs. That's the format for
Oh,
the
the format. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
that's tough. 3 running back
Trade
starts.
Ayuk for
Woo!
AB for an AB for Evans.
His other wide
I'm gonna
receivers are
go with
Chase, Woods, Brown, Jones, and Shenault. I would say no. I like
yeah,
Ayuk and AB. For me personally, I don't think that's enough of an upgrade to
for
really
Brown.
set that up.
I know you're getting
For
Tyreek Hill
Evans.
maybe then, and maybe a Cooper Cup. Would you consider for
Yeah,
Cooper
I
Cup?
mean, you're not getting Cooper Cup. He's a wide receiver one right now. He's pretty much
Well, I'm
untradeable.
just saying, like, that's what you're going to shoot for. You wanted to shoot for Tyreek Hill, Cooper Cup, or, you know,
Yeah, like Tyreek Hill because
Diggs
he's
or
had
Lamb.
some bad games and stuff like that. Yeah, you can maybe get some of those guys, but yeah, I don't think you're getting Cooper Cup. He's coming off 3 monster games, and it doesn't look like
Or
it's
even on
slowing
the
down.
same team, would you go for, help me out.
Woods? He already has Woods.
No, no, not Woods, opposite Evans,
Oh, Godwin.
Godwin.
AB and Ayuk for Godwin? Whew, now you're talking. That's a
Now
little
you're
closer.
talking, right? Now that's the right level, right? That's
It's
where
a
we're
lit
like,
it's
that's
a
where you're at.
little closer, but honestly, I would stay with Ayuk and AB.
I still would stay on you.
Yeah,
I would go for Godwin. That's where I'd go for Godwin. I wouldn't go for
yeah.
Evans.
3 wide
I
receivers and
have
3
Evans at
3
that.
running backs.
I know.
Yeah, that's tough. If anything, I'm trading Ayuk and AB for a running back. So, anyway, if it's starting 3 running backs, I'm trying to trade those 2 guys for a running back. You can't have enough.
Devo for McLaurin, straight up, Scary Terry.
Yeah, and welcome again, Kyle. We appreciate the question, and again, we'll be here
Uh,
Friday doing our start sit. Dylan
thank
comes
you
in and
for
says,
subscribing,
"Would you?"
Dylan.
Absolutely. Thanks if you subscribed. Definitely hit that button for us, and check the description for our sleeper community as well. Come join that. So Dylan says, "Would you do Debo for McLaurin straight up?" Thanks for all the answers tonight, guys. He subscribed already. Let's go, Dylan. Welcome, welcome. Um, I probably it's really tough, man, because I'm a Niners fan. I just didn't have Debo ranked this high. I think a lot of people in the industry had Ayuk over Debo. I kind of like Debo a little more. I dove into more of the stats, of course, because again, when I watch the Niners, I don't watch through a fantasy lens. I watch through a fan lens, a fan set of eyes. But when I dove into it, just what he did at the end of last year was, pretty incredible. Um, with the quarterbacks he was doing it with. Um, I just don't like the quarterback situation there right now with Heineke. I mean, he's been serviceable. We've seen what he did, against Bradbury, so he's kind of in that matchup proof, situation, quarterback proof as well. He just and he has the talent. So I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I would probably just do it because you're upgrading as far as draft capital, but um, that's kind of hard to do trading the wide receiver 3 overall right now. But again, if you're going to get somebody, that's the kind of tier you want to trade him for. So I know that was long winded, but we're about to leave. So go ahead.
Well, I know some guys are talking about um, the quarterback change in San Francisco. Do you think that's going to happen anytime soon? Because we were all talking in the beginning of the season, Jimmy G, but 3, 4 games, 5 games, 6 games at the most.
After the bye, yeah, that's
And
what they were
so,
saying.
when's the bye? When you're a Niner
Week
fan, when
5,
when are they week
yeah, week
5?
5.
So after the bye, so do things improve for Debo and Ayuk, or do they go down?
I mean, if we're 4-1 after the bye, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think it's Jimmy G's job pretty much for the rest of the year, unless he gets hurt, which he's prone to do, or if he just goes on like a 3 pick tirade or 2 picks and a fumble, like he's, known to do, here and there. Um, again, but I think that's why they're kinda working him in, to just keep
Yeah, which
Jimmy
my
straight.
my point being
So,
is he's got a better quarterback situation for Debo versus McLaurin. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
Like,
mean, as the Debo owner, you want Jimmy to stay for the year. So,
so I would s-
that's what you want.
I would keep Debo right now. I wouldn't be trading him for
Yeah.
McLaurin straight up. Like
Debo's
that's
yak is where he gets you. His yard after the catch is where he gets you. So he can take one of those slants or take a, post route and make it a house call. So,
not
um,
even got them boys even agreeing over here.
yeah.
He's
So he's
special and
saying
he's
that.
better than Timo Royal. Yeah, I
Yep.
agree.
We dove into the numbers. Said Godwin's and Evans are almost the same person. Yeah, pretty much. The problem is the difference is in a whole, I believe it is, but I think Godwin is a more consistent producer. Evans is more up and down. Boom or bust.
Yes,
So just kinda
I
check that for me,
completely
then,
agree.
boys, and let me know if
The
that's how it
boys
is.
they'll get the numbers at the end of the year. Evans has been proven to have 1,000 yard seasons for 7 years straight running or whatever, and he's going to get his numbers. But you're going to
Yeah.
get
He's
ebbs and
destined for a
flows.
200-yard game, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get ebbs and flows from Evans. I've had him, I've owned him before, and if you could deal with those ebbs and flows, you're good. If not, he's not the guy to be keeping on your team. That's why I'd rather have Godwin over Evans because of the consistency. I like the steady eddies.
Yeah. Jimmy G is playing, all year barring injury, so Dem Boys is kind of agreeing with what we're saying there, especially if they have a good record, I believe. And again, I just don't think Lance is quite ready yet. Just remember, he didn't play a lot of college, he didn't play all last year, because of COVID. So again, I don't think they want him starting this year. They have a
Yeah,
plan.
after everybody
Shanahan
says
has
a
a
little
plan.
bit of a lateral move. Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah. So Dylan's saying, "That's fair." After what you guys said, I feel it's a bit of a lateral move. Might only be worth trading Debo for a top 10 guy. Yeah, and I mean that's definitely what you're trying to shoot for that type of trade. If not, hold on to him. He's wide receiver 3 overall, so you don't have
I
to
agree.
trade him.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
just keep him and have
You
him
could
still
just
score points for
and
you.
exactly and
Yeah,
have him do wonderful for your fantasy team. Right?
yeah,
Like
that's always a
killing
good
it for
thing
you.
too. Yeah. So it's not always to trade a good guy who's producing for someone who's not producing, unless we know there's a specific reason as to why they're not producing. Like Saquon, they were purposely cutting away his usage and have been ramping it up. So that kind of guy you want to target. Coming off
Yeah,
injury, long term injury, recovering, game script, things like that. Cat's out of the bag now. You're gonna have to pay if you want him, but there's still some people that aren't, comfortable. So again, it is what it is. We were trying to get out of here, Frank, but the questions keep rolling in. We were,
yeah. I don't know
you
if
know,
these guys were. I
s-
thought we were done.
yeah, viewers are popping all back in again, man. It's going.
So
We're
Casey,
we're flying here. So Casey's in here saying PPR. Would you trade Robert? And it's a trade question. So how do we deny it?
Deontay
S
Johnson is what I would take, even though he's
For
injured.
Robert Woods, yeah, I'd like the Deontay Johnson side for that. So would you trade Robert Woods for Deontay? Yeah, I would kind of make that trade. It is a little again. There's two sides of that. Is Ben's arm gone? You know, is he still going to see that same target share when he comes back?
Dwayne
Um,
Haskins.
exactly. So we have
I'm just
Frank
saying.
calling for Dwayne Haskins. It's all crazy over there. But in a
It's not
vacuum,
gonna be Rudolph.
yeah, in the vacuum, as much as I love Bobby Trees, I will take Deontay Johnson. I like him a little more than that.
Yeah, Deontay quick, dude. All right, let's call it. Let's call it for some. Let's go.
He's saying he would take
Not just
Deontay. All right, so we'll get it in.
yeah.
If you guys have any more questions, man, again, bring it to the sleeper community. Check that description. Come in there. We take it off after the show ends. We start chatting in there. Feel free to make a post there. Let us know your trades. Post your lineups. We'll grade those for you. Let you guys know where we're thinking, what you should do, moves you should make. We'll give you our input and help you make those decisions. So, again, check us
And
out
I'll give a
Mondays,
pitch that
Wednesdays,
we
and
haven't even
Fridays.
given yet.
Oh,
You
go
know what I
ahead.
mean? I'm sorry to take you off, but I just thought about this. I'll give a pitch we haven't even given you. Stay with us. Stick with us till next year when we start doing the mock drafts all over again.
Oh, yeah. Friday Night
Right?
Mocks says it right there. We'll be
You guys
doing it.
missed it, so you guys are joining us late. It was fun mocking with everybody.
Yeah, go back and check the playlist, under our channel, the Friday Night Mocks playlist. You'll see what we did. We had a big tournament as the preseason started, leading us right into our regular drafts. So, again, give us that feedback. Let us know, those guys who did mock with us. Let us know if that helped you. How your teams were built. If you tried something a little different, this year, let us know how your teams are doing there. We'd like to hear it. Good, bad, or indifferent. So other than that, man, again, keep checking us out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're here at 9:30 Pacific, sometimes 10, between 9 and 10 when we get here. But we're bringing this to you. We'll be here Friday at 9:30 Pacific on the dot for the Friday show to do our start sit.
We're
So
never on the dot. Don't listen to that.
Mike and I are on the dot on Fridays at 9:30, so we'll
Okay.
be there. It's
Oh,
Friday.
that's when he's
We're ready to go.
on.
Yeah, we don't got work the next day. It's
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
We're ready to go
Forget
at
today.
9:30
It's
on
only
Fridays.
Wednesday. I only gotta work tomorrow,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Mondays and Wednesdays are tough. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. So, other than that, man, we appreciate it. It sucks leaving when there's people still here watching, but we're glad we have it. Thanks for everything tonight, guys. Really appreciate it, Dylan. We appreciate
Hey,
you. Thanks for subscribing. Keep growing our community here. Again, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we do have that Sunday morning show, our last minute start sit with our active and inactives that we break for you here live. So, other than that, unless there's anything else you have, Frank, I think I've said enough for both of us
shit.
tonight.
Hey, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Peace out. You know, I thought it was a good show, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I had a lot of fun, dude. Love talking football. This is what we do. So, other than that, man, we're out.
Peace out.